Alright guys, I know I'm a little late to the party, but let's do this Cine Bear stuff. We're going to start with the situation itself. August put this together for me. And then we will watch the Just a Robot guy. It's probably two separate videos because it seems like a lot of content. Who apparently is quite a clown. But I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's the hero we all actually needed. I don't really know. But let's start with this very interestingly titled video saying that my roommate helped clean a young person. I don't know how else to say it. Let's get going.
Okay, I have to be kind of quiet because Cindy is in the other room because she called.
I'm sorry, what is up with this? What is this? Why are there pictures of people like this?
Called in sick from work today.
I guess who am I to judge? I'm about to play a video game soon.
Let me pull up my script. This video isn't gonna be like any video I made before, like...
Okay.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me. I don't even know how I'm gonna format this video, like, I'm just trying to get this done as fast as I can, because, like...
Who's Cine Bear? I have no idea. She's a content creator on YouTube that's rather popular, apparently. They don't really know too much else.
I'm, like, this is, like, an emergency, but just trying to, like, spill my guts as fast as I can, so that I can be safe and so...
Yeah, so this is Cine Bear. I guess she does some kind of very cringe content. That's all you could tell. And apparently she groomed a kid. That's what this is about, okay? So, but I'm very confused about this.
Cindy doesn't hurt anyone else. I have a loose script here, but I'll probably ramble a lot due to how emotional I've been, so I apologize for any messy wording or anything. Tangents. Cindy's victim compiled a comprehensive document in the description detailing everything that Cindy did with them. In all honesty, I still don't know the extent of her actions. Like, yesterday on Twitter, I made a post being like, this was before I found out everything. I just made a post being like, hey, don't come for me because I don't blindly support Cindy just because we live together and I don't know the extent of her actions. And I said I didn't know the extent of her actions. Well, I still didn't know. Like... I didn't know there was more to this. Yeah, I can't even look at the screenshots because I know, like, I can't bear to look at them. Like, it'll make me sicker than I already have.
Dude, there's 111 pages in this document.
So I'm just gonna spare myself the gruesome details. Please educate yourselves, for my sake at least. Check the description, please. Also, I'd like to start this video by saying I'll probably be opening emergency commission slots soon, so please keep...
Yeah, apparently she makes a video admitting it, so we don't necessarily have to go through an 111-page document, so...
Keep an eye on my Twitter.
Alright.
If you want to help me get to a safe place, I've set up a GoFundMe. I've never done this before.
I love this part of the video. Hey guys, you want to donate to me? Please donate. I don't know. I feel that the tone of this video is weird. It has nothing to do with whether she did it or not, because she seems to have done it if she admitted it. But the whole tone of this video is bizarre. But the whole GoFundMe, the weird picture stuff feels a little bizarre. I don't know.
So, hope I'm doing it right. All expenses will go towards me moving to another place, and honestly, I mean,
wouldn't we want to donate to the kid?
No, where I'm gonna go. I don't know what the rest of my life is gonna be. I'm gonna talk to my family later. I highly doubt I'll be able to stay with any of them because, you know, I have nobody else. I have nowhere else to go. I have Laurel, my friend Laurel, but she's in college, and as soon as she gets out of college, she's moving to Japan, so she can't do anything.
Okay.
I'm fucking, like, flat broke right now.
Okay.
I never wanted to say, like, where I was getting my source of income publicly because people have been getting on my ass for like, ooh, you don't have a job, you're mooching off of Cindy, which is all an assumption. Like,
why don't you just get a job? This is supposed to be about a kid getting harmed, supposedly. Why are we talking about this for so much detail?
Nobody has any concrete evidence of that. And although I did not have a job, no, I have not been mooching off of Cindy. I have actually, like, I've helped pay rent every month. I've helped pay for groceries.
What are you helping them find kids or something? Like, what's happening here?
I've given Cindy money for gas.
Sorry, that might have been inappropriate.
I've paid for a lot of her things. Like,
why would we care about that if she's a bad person? I don't understand.
Off of her, but I was on SSI, Social Security benefits, because I'm too disabled to work. I've been on these benefits since I was 14, and when I was a minor, I actually received none of the money because it was given to my parents with the intention of, like, them using it to feed me and buy me clothes, and that's just not what they did with the money. And I've been cut off from SSI, like, 4 times now, and I got, like, they've been sending my letters to my parents and my grandparents, even though I keep telling them my address, and I've updated my address in the system, but I got no letters about what they've been doing. They just decided to cut me off randomly. and I didn't find out until like maybe 1 or 2 months ago when rent was due, and I'm so fucked. Any amount of money is appreciated. Like I said, I'm fucking flat.
Yeah, so we're about 20% of the way into this video, and we're 15%. So far, it's been about this person getting money. Get a job. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know your specific situation, but I feel like you get a job.
Broke right now. $0 in my bank account. I checked earlier. $0. Also, right when I got finished recording, Cinny said this to me when I went to...
You're being a freaking jerk. I can't believe you're saying I sexually assaulted you by touching your ass and your boobs. I always asked if it was okay. All right. What is happening? What? And you said, yes, if you wanted me to stop, I would have. I know I poked you in places you didn't like, and I'm sorry I did that. I didn't recognize I was making you genuinely uncomfortable. If you had a discussion with me about it, I would understand and make an effort to stop. You're being an asshole. This is my first... Why would you have this conversation on Discord if you guys are roommates? This just seems like just stupid to do. Like, just in general. Now there's a ton of evidence of you admitting that you were touching somebody when they didn't apparently like it, so I don't really understand that. I never felt this close to somebody before, and you don't, and you know I'm affectionate, and I show affection by touching and grabbing people on their arms and legs and their hair. What? I always ask if you're comfortable with what I'm doing, and you've always said yes. Oh, okay. If that's true, I guess it doesn't matter. You're also framing my obsession with boy as a bad thing when you've never had an issue with it. I don't understand you. It's like you flipped a switch and suddenly you disagree with everything I'm doing. Why couldn't you be honest with me? I'm fucking hurt by this. I feel like you know I can't control how I feel about boy. Who's boy? Is this the person she supposedly groomed? He makes me happy and I have a relationship with him. I don't know what I have. I wanted to talk to you about it, what it means, but I never had a chance to bring it up with you. Is mental health only an explanation for infatuation with fictional characters when it happens to you? What the fuck? I hate feeling like this. It feels like you hate me. I fucking hate being alive. You hate me. I know you hate me. I want to die. I've always given you the benefit of the doubt. I've always been there for you when you would spit at me. Spit at me? It says split at me when you went nonverbal. Oh. And when you would lash out at me. I've always just wanted to help you. I don't understand why you're so against me when I want to get better for you. I want to get better. You can't even try to help me now that I need you. What the actual hell is happening?
To check Discord, so yeah. But like, I need to get out of here. I don't feel safe here anymore. The public needs to know this information. Like, this is a public matter.
This is so bizarre. I don't know why though, but I'm here for it. This is just such an this is bizarre brain rot.
I'm gonna be the first to voice this publicly because if somebody else went first, everybody would go after me. And don't worry, I am like speed running this. I'm like going through this as fast as I can, just so I can get this out as quick as I can, so everyone's educated. I don't support her, and I will never forgive her. I want this to be clear. She is never coming back from this, and I'm never going to see her the same ever again. She does not deserve her platform, and I don't think she should return to the internet. So, okay. Here's what I'm aware of. Cinny was in contact with a 14-year-old with the username Eno, and they've been talking for 6 months. Cinny...
So I'm just curious, when was like when did they start talking? Was was she like 20 and they were 14, or was this like I'm curious about the time?
And Eno porn, including sadomasochistic porn.
Oh my god.
She encouraged them to draw porn and would get upset when they wouldn't. She shared her sexual fantasies with them and did other things that I don't have the details of. And this was very recently. To my knowledge, she only stopped doing this 3 days ago because Eno confronted her and told her that what she was doing wasn't okay. And it's not like this is the only time. Like, she has a pattern of doing this. But, like, she promised all of us that after the Pee-wee stuff, she would stop. And I never...
Wait, so she's done this before? So she's apparently constantly talking to very young people? What is happening? Why would you even let her get away with it once?
I knew how bad the Pee-wee stuff was. I just took her word for everything. But, the Pee-wee thing is, almost, like, I think it was almost a year ago now, Cinny was in contact with someone with the username Pee-wee when she was 19 and that you're 17, and she did...
That I don't give a shit about. That doesn't matter at all. 19 and 17, I do not care. But okay.
All of the same things, and...
I don't care about that. 19 and 17? 14 and 20? Very disgusting. 19 and 17? Do not care about that.
Much to my disturbance, before we moved in together, the Pee-wee stuff was going on, like, as soon as we were moving in together, and I found out that Cinny had drawn a comic of me raping her in 2020.
Jesus Christ! So she was 16 then, though? That's weird, but that's like a 16-year-old weird... That's weird.
And she sent it to Pee-wee right before we moved in together, and I don't know why she did that. I don't know why... Like, the timing... I should have seen that as a red flag, but honestly, even if Cinny did something like really fucking evil, like explicitly evil, I still would have moved in with her at that time because
Why?
nobody else would take me.
Oh.
Cinny has intentionally downplayed the severity of her actions to me and hid things from me. I had no idea about Eno. Like, I knew she was in contact with Eno, and I knew, like, Cinny, like, has sexual conversations with all of her friends, and I assumed that Eno was an adult, but they're not. I took her word on everything because I trusted her with my life. She has continuously befriended fans of hers and then immediately delved into sexual territory with almost all of them.
I really don't care about that unless those fans are like children of an inappropriate age. So I don't necessarily care too much, but how, like, if the fans are 20 years old and I don't care, you know, whatever. But
she keeps doing this. She sent Pee-wee porn after they'd only been talking for a week. I'm gonna be frank. Cindy's a groomer. She's a predator.
I don't care as long as how old were they?
Been talking for a week. I'm gonna be frank. Cindy's a groomer. She's a predator. All of this behavior is predatory, and she knew what she was doing. She knew how.
I mean, again, the only predatory aspect of the behavior, it would be if they're children, which one of them seems to have been 14 and 20. That's definitely predatory behavior.
She would often like call Eno like, oh, baby Eno, fetus Eno. Like, she fucking knew what she was doing.
That's weird.
She acknowledged everything she did wrong with Pee-wee, and said promised it would never happen again.
Who's Pee-wee? Is Pee-wee the 17-year-old that they were talking to when they were 19? I don't care about that.
So the fact that she could acknowledge what she did wrong in that situation goes to show that she knew exactly what she was doing this time.
All right, be more specific,
Another
please.
thing, she has an obsession with Boy, a character belonging to Sock.Clip, who's also a minor. Sock has expressed discomfort with Cinny multiple times, and Cinny hasn't made an effort to change anything.
Okay.
She made graphic rape comics, including Sock's characters, and sent them to people she barely knew, who then leaked them because she didn't fucking know them.
What the hell is... This person needs to be in, like, a mental institution or something. Oh my god.
Sock expressed
Constantly making sexual assault comics is just very concerning behavior.
discomfort again, and
then also feeling comfortable enough to show your friends, that's also very concerning behavior. Why are you guys... Not for nothing. Why are you guys so comfortable with these... Why does she feel so comfortable with sending these to you guys? I'm a little confused about that.
doubled down and told Sock off because she can cope however she wants, I guess. I haven't looked at the screenshots. I've only heard like testimony of this, but it's disturbing. She has an obsession with Boy to this very day. Before
How old is
I found
Boy
out about
exactly?
all this, Cinny actually DM'd me last night and said, oh, Boy's yelling at me, because I think she has like an imaginary version of him. I don't know. And I was like, why is he yelling at you? And she's like, I don't feel comfortable saying. And then I found out from someone else what she did, and she just wasn't going to tell me. Like I said, with the Eno thing, I had no idea about any of this until literally like last night. And I cannot put my heartache into words. I'm kind of numb right now, so like there's not a lot of emotion in my voice, but I was up all night last night crying my eyes out for several hours, and everything hurt. Like,
too much of this video is about this person. I don't really care about you, truthfully. You don't seem like a particularly innocent figure in this situation. You guys all seem to be a bunch of weirdos. She just takes that weirdness to a predatory level.
This shit fucking hurts. This is worse than
Boy's a character. I think Boy's a person. I don't really know. This is so unclear.
And like my breakup from 2021, this is the worst kind of betrayal I've ever felt. And I'm not even the victim in this situation. Like, this isn't even about me, but okay, I'll be honest. She has, with me, like, now that I'm aware of the extent of her behavior, I've been able to reframe a lot of her actions with me, and I think some of the things she did kind of bordered on sexual assault with me. I didn't know the extent of her abuse. I didn't know what she was doing behind my back. I trusted her with everything. I felt safe and happy for the first time in my life, and she turned out exactly like the people who...
So I just to be clear, because this has nothing to do with her, what she may have done to a kid. You're saying that you felt safe with her, and now you're saying in the future it bordered on sexual assault. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. How did that framing change to me? It seems like you guys had weird boundaries with each other. I don't really care about this person. I do care about the other young person.
hurt me as a child.
Oh, Boy is a fictional character created by somebody else they know? That's how that... What the fuck is this? Dude, this is insane.
Eno is going to be traumatized by this for the rest of their life. I feel fucking sick.
Eno's the kid?
She's going to continue to hurt people unless I come out about this as fast as possible. Touching back on Cindy's like sexual assault towards me, I'd like to preface this by saying this is going to get kind of graphic, so I'm sorry. On a daily basis, she like makes comments about my ass, like how big and squishy it is, and how she wants a boyfriend with an...
Okay, great. But like you just said you felt comfortable and safe with this person. I don't know how much I believe that they assaulted you. And also, you even acknowledged you're not the victim here. So, the fuck?
Like mine, and she would constantly slap it and grab it. And I'm gonna be honest, I consented to this because I've never had an IRL friend before, and I didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay.
Okay, so you consented to it. I mean, whatever touching is and isn't okay is up to the individual that sets the boundary, right? So, I mean, you felt like this was okay, and you were fine with it, and now that's changing because they're a creep in other ways. But it sounds like you're all kind of weird. So this I don't care about.
And like, I also consented to her like touching my boobs.
Okay.
And like, I guess like
so just to be clear, when you use the word that you say you consented to her doing things, it's hard to say that this was sexual assault.
Fine, because I consented to it, but there's stuff that she did that I didn't consent to.
Okay. Like what?
She would often poke me like in the ass or like on my crotch and like make jokes about fingering me, and like I told her not to do this, and I said no multiple times, and I would even like scream if she did it, but she did it even as recently as like a few nights ago, I think. I still have my doubts about like my feelings about this because like with that thing I didn't continue to say no, and I confronted Synnibear about this, and she said she thought I was joking when I said no, which I have a recording of, but all right,
let's hear it.
I'll show the recording later. I just want to talk first.
No.
Okay, I forgot this.
I'd like to hear the recording first.
I forgot to say this
because you're a mess.
My initial recording.
Hearing this is a mess.
Really quick, but Synnibear asked me to sit on her face one time. Okay, and I declined. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
One time she wanted to.
Okay. This is a fetish of hers. She draws herself doing the same to Pee-wee, and has described sexual fantasies involving this. What? Okay.
And I declined. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
One time she wanted to find a character AI adjacent thing that let her sext with the AI, and her friends didn't give her anything, so she suggested asking her server. I told her she could if she wanted to, because I was under the impression that her server was like 16 plus or 18 plus, and that.
I mean, so. Okay, so. Just want to really listen to that.
Let her sext with the AI, and
okay. So, I just want to be very clear. She wanted to sext with an AI, and you thought it was okay because her server had people 16 and older in it. I feel like you might not be too much better. I don't know what's happening here, but you're also concerning me.
I knew what she was doing, but I only found out recently that I was 13 plus, and I had no idea.
Okay.
She started sexting.
I mean, that is worse. So just what is happening here?
With the AI on a regular basis, like in the room with me.
Okay.
One time I was cuddling with her, and I was on top of her, and we were watching something while she was sexting with the AI.
Okay. So you had a relationship where you would cuddle with her? And you would let her touch you in some ways, but not others, maybe? I mean, I feel like this is some kind of a relationship that these two are in. I'm not... It sounds like you guys were in some kind of weird fucking relationship. You seem... I don't know what the fuck's going on. I do not care about this person. I'm more interested in the other stuff.
I said something like, oh, your heart's beating really fast. You must be scared of whatever we're watching. And she said, oh, no, it's for another reason. And I had to tell her to stop sexting with the AI while I was there. In fact, at first I wasn't...
Were you jealous or...
aware that was what she was doing, until one point where I tried to look at her phone and she hid it from me. She's intentionally tried to cover her tracks so many times, and I'm not defending her anymore. Okay. I defended her before because I took her word for everything. I foolishly believed her about all of the lies she told, everything she was hiding from me. I knew she was messaging Enno, like I said before, but I did not know Enno's age. One time they were calling each other, like, in the living room, and I walked in, and, like, Synnibear hid their DMs from me, and I asked why she hid them, and she just told me she didn't want me to see, and I kept pressing about it, but eventually I gave up, because I knew Synnibear sexted, like, all of her friends, and I assumed Enno was an adult.
Okay, so she has a pattern of sexting her friends. I'm assuming that you're one of the friends she would Where the fuck am I going? I'm assuming you're one of the friends she would sex with. This seemed to be, like, commonplace when it comes to boundaries with that. I'm not talking about the child here. But this seems to be something that she is aware of. Like,
when I found out that Enno was only 14, I got so violently
sick. Yeah, that's
sick.
Problematic, obviously.
It took one conversation for my happy ending to just be ripped out from under me. My friendship with Synnibear was all a lie. The opportunity she gave me, her saving my life. We celebrated Christmas together. We celebrated Thanksgiving together. My whole family treated her like she was part of us. Even my parents. We went on vacation with family in Seattle for 4 days very recently. We raised 2 cats together, and I don't know what's going to happen to them when I leave. Squirp loves me more than any cat has loved me before, and I know if I leave her behind, it'll crush her. Squirp has been comforting me every time she finds me crying over this. I can't leave her behind. I literally have her, like, laying on top of me right now because she knows that this is fucking me up. My grandparents paid to fly me and Synnibear out to Seattle, and they don't even know her. They gave her $300.
Dude, I don't give a shit about this girl at all. This sounds like you guys had a weird fucking relationship together. I'm more worried about this young person that you were referring to.
To like spend in Seattle, and they didn't even know her. They were so kind and generous to her, and she ended up being a predator. She fucking broke my heart.
What is...
I had to talk her out of suicide recently when the first doc about her was made, and I cleaned most of the apartment for her while she was at work, and I worked so hard on cleaning the apartment that I had sweat dripping down my face and just like dripping everywhere.
Well, it sounds like you were unemployed, so that was... maybe that was what you were doing to pay the roommate stuff. What is this? What does it have to do with the kid?
Because I have a heart condition, and like physical activity takes such a big toll on me, but I did it.
She has a heart condition. Okay, gotcha.
For her, because I wanted our apartment to feel
you can clean without stressing yourself to such a degree that you would trigger a heart condition. Like, you could take it easy when you clean. Whatever way you decided to clean is on you.
Home when she got back, and I baked brownies for her with...
I lived there. I cleaned this for her and baked brownies for her. You lived there, bro. Come on.
Chocolate hearts and wings on them to surprise her, because I loved her and I didn't want her to die. I don't want her to die. Even now, like, I don't think I can even say that I hate her. But, like, this changes everything.
I would if she was trying to groom a 14-year-old. What is happening here?
Our birthday is this month, and it's ruined.
God.
I haven't had a good birthday in my entire life, and I thought this was going to be the first one.
Okay.
But it's ruined.
Wow, this is really about this girl. It is nothing... I mean, this girl is not a good person.
I'm turning 20, and I don't have...
So she apparently... And I still don't know exactly. We'll see her admit it probably, but... This girl, the girl supposedly was grooming a 14-year-old, and like most of this video is about how she was. It's actually she's the actual victim of this 14-year-old's potential trauma. But okay,
have a life anymore.
Makes sense to me.
Our friend Laurel was actually gonna fly out and visit us, and we were literally just discussing plans for it right before we were told what happened, and she had to cancel. Me and Cinny were gonna make a tres leches cake and decorate it because I always had tres leches on my birthday as a kid.
Wow,
she
great.
stole the life she gave me away from me. She saved me, and
well,
then
now
she
I'm really upset for
I'm
you.
in Missouri with nobody to save me. I don't know anybody here.
How the fuck do you have bad birthdays, but you always get a tres leches cake?
I have nobody left. Cinny wanted me to be the uncle to her kids. I wanted to have a house.
What? Uncle? What?
With her.
You know what?
I loved her
know.
unconditionally, and I've shown her love that I've never shown anybody else.
Pick a struggle, you know what I mean?
I loved her more than anything. I miss the Cinny that I knew. All it took was a 5-minute conversation, and my wonderful best friend who saved my life and made me feel whole turned into a disgusting, vile creep. I miss her so bad. I wish I could just wake up from all this and go get ice cream with the real Cinny like I did every week. But that wasn't the real Cinny. It was a front she put up to keep...
This is... you guys were total... These two were totally in a relationship. These guys were dating. Like, what is happening here?
Getting away with taking advantage of people. And it hurts more than anything in the world. There are no words to describe my pain. I miss the Cinny that I loved so dearly, that I cherished, that I loved more than anything. I didn't know she was capable of this. I don't know why she fucking did this. She ruined everything. I'm not even the victim in this situation, and I want to fucking kill myself.
You are acting like the victim, and also don't do that, of course. You gotta speak against that, but what are you talking about?
I loved her. I miss her. Why did she turn into this monster? I miss my Cinny. This is the worst thing that could ever happen.
What is this? Is like the obituary of Cine Bear?
Happened.
What is this?
I would like to make it a point that Cinny's main excuse for her behavior is her hypersexuality. And
Listen, I could be a hypersexual guy. Never chatted with a 14-year-old, okay? Clap for me, please.
Hypersexual, so let's talk about this.
Okay.
In me and Cinny's case, we're constantly plagued by sexual thoughts and a higher than average libido.
Constantly okay, so no for nothing. But if you're sitting here, you guys are plagued by the same, like, having constantly sexual thoughts, and you don't expect me to think, like, oh, maybe, like, you guys are plagued by the same thoughts, plagued. Okay, there's a weird level of empathy for that. You would cuddle together and grab each other's butts and this and that, and you're expecting me to think that, like, she assaulted you? I don't know if that's true. Especially since you're like, I consented to everything and I was fine with everything, but then after I found out about the 14-year-old, now I think I was assaulted. Like, what is happening here?
It's fucking torture. It's a result of our SA trauma, and hypersexuality is a trauma response.
Okay.
Not everybody experiences hypersexuality the same way, but me and Cinny do.
Oh my god.
I have never done anything like what Cinny has done. I would never endanger a child just to get off. People with hypersexuality are never inherently predators. Cinny's predatory actions cannot be excused by hypersexuality. Right? She's taking advantage of people who idolize her, children who idolize her. She's only been concerned with her public image for most of this, and when people talk about these things publicly, it's sickening. When the first call-out document was made, which I will also link in the description, all she cared about was how it looked, not her own actions. I didn't know the extent of her actions featured in the doc because she downplayed everything and I took her word for it. I found out later that it's much worse than I thought it was. I feel so betrayed. I also have a statement from Eno, Cindy's victim.
Well, I just want to be clear. It seems like the first person who came out was 17 and they were 19. So, like, I don't know. That is not grooming, just to be clear. And can we get to the 14-year-old one?
Here's what they have to say.
Hey, hello, my name is Eno. I'm happy Jack would let me have a place to speak in
Okay, this one is like super fast. Let me turn this down. What is this?
this video. I'm 14 years old, turning 15 next month, and I
Okay, this is the actual allegation.
was having inappropriate conversations with the YouTuber Synnibear03, as you can probably tell.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Hello,
I just want to start this over. Hold on.
Here's what they have to say.
Hey, hello, my name is Eno. I'm happy Jack would let me have a place to speak in this video. I'm 14 years old, turning 15 next month, and I was having inappropriate conversations with the YouTuber Synnibear03.
Okay, and Synnibear03 right now is 20, right? Like, that's the
You
problem?
can probably tell at this point. All of my evidence is going to be in the document in the description. I'd rather not be putting my evidence in this video because the evidence itself is graphic and triggering for Jack, and it would be best if you looked at the doc yourself with precaution.
Okay, so they're 21. So it sounds like it's like 20 and 14 is accurate. Okay. We finally got to the actual substance of the video. Fantastic.
This happened so fast, and honestly, I'm still processing everything. The reason I
Okay.
wanted to say something is because it felt like I owe it to everyone. Her audience, the people that she cares about, and her. I met Cynthia
Who the fuck is in the background? Where were you at? Like a YMCA, like a fucking YMCA or something? What's happening?
months ago, but we only started to get close as of recently because I made fan art for her. I've been a fan of her channel ever since I got into the animation meme community, so talking to her felt surreal, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't care how big her platform is, or about any of her content, or how much of a fan I was, because I don't believe in any of that stuff. Outside of YouTube, she's still a person that I decided to talk to. I don't have many friends. In fact, I only really have two. So when I started to form a bond with her, I started to see her as a big sister or somebody I could look up to and tell things to. Because me and her have some things in common.
Okay.
I didn't mind the whole thing with Boy and Nightmare. I didn't mind talking to her about any of that stuff. I don't even think I realized the severity of it until somebody else told me it was wrong. Maybe I'm just having Stockholm Syndrome of some sort, but I want to believe that she's a good person and that she never wanted to hurt me in the way that she did. She never wanted to hurt anybody in the way that she did. Because we all know that she's
What the
smarter-
fuck is happening right now? I'm sorry, this is just all of this is so bizarre. All of this. This is even like the most bizarre witness statement I've ever heard in my life, too. What the fuck is happening? Who failed these people as children? I don't mean to be fucking rude, but oh my lord.
than this. She makes videos on people like this. I'm still trying to process everything, so for the time being, I'm going to remain by her side until I know what to do with myself. I haven't been able to sleep all night because I was crying and trying to figure out what to do and how I could fix it and make everyone happy, but it's not my place to do that. She did this to herself. But honestly, I can't help but feel regret knowing that I did something that could impact her and what this will do to her channel and the people around her.
I mean, can be like a very real thing. It's like one of the reasons why it can be difficult for people who are molested by like family members to come forward because like they still like love their family member and so like they don't want to get their family member get in trouble. But
I don't know how I'm gonna handle this, but I'm going to do what I have to do because this is what feels right. I'm so upset that I had to meet Laurel and Jack this way, but they are some of the sweetest and most caring people I have ever met. They are understanding and compassionate about their morals and what is right and what is wrong. Jack has developed so much as a person and it shines brighter than anything. I feel bad because I'm doing this before his and her birthday, but this was so sporadic and it happened really quickly. I think I said everything.
Hi,
wait, why'd you cut them off?
it's me again.
Why? Why do you were irrelevant to this video? Please go away.
In the video, I'd like to include a recording of the conversation.
Wait, what the fuck was that? That was all we got? Okay. Well, I'm curious to see the fucking admission from that person. What the why is that all we got? Why are you... This video is supposed to be about that person. It was like a minute of them talking. It's mostly you whinging. What the fuck?
Conversation where I confronted Cinny. I want you to be warned, the recording includes a ton of crying and grieving and panic,
God.
so it may be emotionally distressing to hear. But I want to cover all my bases and make sure that I'm as delicate and thorough with this as I can be. So
Is it you? You're the one crying? Like,
here you go. So, I know what happened.
What do you mean?
Soph told me that
Oh, fuck.
it's okay. Here, I'm gonna tell you what I know, okay? Soph told me that you've been sending porn to Enno, and she told me because I deserve to know.
Uh-huh.
And you knew that Enno was 14.
Uh-huh.
I
yeah,
think
that's pretty gross.
this is very predatory. I don't support this, and I don't condone this, and ow.
I'm not trying to be like, I just want to be like, because this is why do you have the right to know? I mean, they shouldn't be doing this behavior, but why are you such a heavy focus in this? And why does it seem like this person is more concerned for themselves? Like they feel betrayed more than they feel like what happened was inappropriate to the kid.
I noticed that you have withheld some information from me about like your behavior because at this point it's not a mistake.
Like it sounds like they're more disappointed that this person didn't tell them that they were talking to a kid than they actually did do it. I don't understand.
Like, you can't just accidentally send a 14-year-old porn.
No, you can't.
You groomed them. I'm not gonna sugarcoat.
I mean that I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't know if they necessarily groomed them. This could be a grooming tactic, right? Like grooming is a intentional methodical process of setting up typically a child, typically up for sexual exploitation. This could absolutely be a grooming tactic. It's disgusting and inappropriate and potentially predatory. There's never an instance where you should ever be sending a 14-year-old. I mean, I'm being like finicky about whether it is or isn't grooming technically. It doesn't really matter. It's disgusting behavior. I just like why the fuck is there such a focus on the girl feeling betrayed by it's just weird. I'm more concerned with the kid.
It. What you did was grooming. I can't support you in this.
Wow, brave.
In what?
Just in the situation, like, your actions, like, at first, like, from the information you told me, like, I thought you were being impulsive and making dumb mistakes.
What?
But
wait, so this is something that you knew about? I'm so confused. But they weren't honest about the specifics? What the fuck is happening?
this is an intentional, repeated behavior that you have continued to do, and
Well, that's what repeated means.
I'm not okay with this.
Wow.
And this whole thing has made me realize
I don't know if it was grooming. It's just still disgusting behavior. What is happening?
that you have been inappropriate with me too.
Wait, how?
You guys were in some kind of relationship. I'm probably never ever going to be convinced that this person was inappropriate with you too. I don't think that that's true.
You know how I told you not to like poke me in the butt or like on my crotch, and you still do it?
Oh,
Okay.
Wait, do I do it in the crotch, really?
Like, I don't know, sometimes you still make jokes about like fingering me and stuff, and you asked me to sit on your face that one time. Like, that's not like, that's a sexual situation that you were gonna put me in. Like,
You guys were cuddling with each other. I don't care. Why is this whole video about the roommate and not the fucking kid? What is happening? What the fuck is happening?
I consented to it because
I consented to it. Got it. Done with that. Time to move on.
didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay. But
What?
But now that I'm like
If you're okay with it, it's okay. You're an adult, so it doesn't really matter. What?
putting the pieces together, now that I've like stepped back and took in the whole view of the situation, you haven't been treating a lot of people right. Like, your hypersexuality can only go so far. Like, at this point, you
literally just said you consented to it. What's happening here? This is a mess.
taking advantage of your fans, and you've taken advantage of me. And I'm gonna be honest, Cindy, I don't want to live with you anymore.
Wow. Incredible.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Wow, how distressing.
I draw a line here. I can't have you doing these things with kids. I can't live with someone who is taking advantage of children. I can't.
I don't want to anymore.
But
The fuck is happening? I don't want to anymore? How does it happen in the first place? I'm so confused.
You still did, and that's the issue. You can't
Hey, how many times did this person do this behavior? Where, like, it seems like this is like a repeated issue. I'm so confused.
This. Like you have done this with so many people, and I.
Oh right, the other one was when it was the 17-year-old, right? Like that we don't care about because it was 17, 19 is fine. I don't care about it.
It's okay. I just.
No.
What is happening? Oh, this is a
No,
lot. Oh, this is crazy. I like this though.
It's okay.
I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to do
You
better.
can't come back from this.
I want to do better.
What's happening right
You can't come back. You can. It's okay, but
No.
Synny,
Jack, I cannot lose you.
I don't feel safe here anymore after learning what happened.
Jack,
Dude, I was fucking crying my eyes out earlier when I found out what you did.
I'm sorry, this is not... What happened to the kid is not funny, but this is a preposterous moment here. I'm fucking shitting my pants.
please.
Broke my heart, Synny, that you would do that.
Oh my god. This is
hurts
crazy.
me too.
Jack, I'm so sorry. I don't want to do this again.
It's already been done. The damage is already
It's like
done.
a movie. I feel like I'm watching like fucking Riverdale right now. What's happening here?
Jack, oh fuck. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ever make you feel like I was taking advantage of you.
It's not about me.
I know.
I could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. This is incredible.
I know.
When you've been doing this with them for months too, and you lied to me about it.
What do you mean?
Seems like the bigger issue is the lying about it instead of, rather than the actual behavior being gross. Like what the
You
fuck?
would intentionally like hide from me that you guys were like talking about sexual stuff. You never told me how old they were.
I told you we were being hypersexual with each other. Like
Yeah, but you never told me how old they were.
I thought I did.
Why would you care? Like, okay, well, not about the kid part, but why would you care if they're being hypersexual with each other unless you had like some kind of emotional interest in this person? I don't know. Does that make sense to ask that question? Like,
I thought I told you.
And
I thought I told
said
you.
out loud that
It's
you're
okay.
being hypersexual with a 14-year-old, and that was okay in your mind. When you said that out loud. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think that anymore.
Well, then why did you
What the fuck is happening?
think that to begin with?
I
Like,
don't know. It was some sort of desperation for something familiar.
desperation?
What the fuck is happening?
Something familiar.
Like-
I don't want to do this anymore.
What-
Then don't.
I won't. I won't ever again.
But
I make
What the fuck is happening?
conscious choice. I
It's
don't want
okay.
to do it ever again.
Synny?
I stopped talking to them for a while because I felt guilty, and I knew I shouldn't have done it. And
Synny.
I
You can't come back from this. I'm
I
so
can't.
sorry.
And I'm sorry.
This is so weird. This whole tone of this is so... She clearly did it. Like, there's no arguing that. But this is just so bizarre.
Also, since you stuck around till the end, I've got a little goodie for you to hopefully get some of that sour taste out of your mouth.
What? Why? This is supposed to be about a kid getting hurt. Why do I need a goodie? What? What, are you making a new YouTube channel or something? Like, what is it going to be?
Since September 1st, I was slaving away on a birthday animation for me and Synny. But as
What
soon as
the
I found out
fuck?
what
I don't
you did,
care.
I immediately dropped it. It was
Wow.
gonna be like a fully rendered, like complete animation, which like I haven't done one of those in a while, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm
Wow.
gonna show what I had so far.
Incredible.
Although I'd like to clarify first that the animation is 16 plus, just like all of my artwork, and contains suggestive themes. It's the panty and stocking transformation scene, but with me and Synny. So like,
The
you
what?
get it.
I don't get it.
All of my artwork is 16 plus, like I said, but I'd like to make
Why
the
16?
point that this animation has a suggestive nature, so you know what you're in for.
And why is it for 16-year-olds? Why do you all have boundary issues?
Because I'm not a freak, unlike
What?
Synny.
Okay, well, I mean, comparatively, no. But we're not. We're not comparing. You to me, you are somehow. I'm fucking weird. What is this?
Here you go.
I was going to make a video talking about
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that was something that we saw, and that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I don't really know what to say. We're gonna move on to the I'm sorry video from Synnibear. Let's do it.
a recent document that was released about me, but the situation has gotten much more serious as I realize the damage that I've caused. I've been an irresponsible content creator, and I've been acting inappropriately towards my fans. This alone is enough for me to realize I need to make sweeping changes to how I conduct myself and how I interact with my fans. But the most serious thing I've done is I've groomed a minor. I became friends with a 14-year-old after I made a mental note to myself to not become friends with minors again. And
you know, me personally, I don't really have an interest in becoming friends with minors, but I've never had to make a mental note of it. So that's weird, especially given the fact that they apparently have done this type of weird behavior before. So that's cool.
Overshared with them. I shared graphic, explicit materials with them when I shouldn't have. I groomed this child. And
now, I don't listen. To be honest with you, I don't know if this would necessarily technically constitute grooming, but you should not be sending these to these people, especially since it sounds like this happened in private. It's never appropriate, but like what like it sounds like you were doing this privately, which definitely could for sure be a grooming tactic. I don't really know, I guess, specifically, but still really weird. You guys are very strange. I don't know. There's something that just seek medical, some kind of medical professional or some kind of mental health professional or something.
I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I betrayed everyone who looked up to me. I betrayed my friends. I've done the worst possible thing I could have done, and I'm suffering for my choices. I don't know if I can ever come back to my platform, and it's my own fault. I'm going to seek therapy. I'm stepping away from my social medias, and I'm going to try to figure out why I felt it was appropriate to talk to my fans this way. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want this pattern to repeat itself. I want to be better. Nothing I do will ever make this right, but I want to make sure it never happens again. I'm sorry to everyone I've ever made uncomfortable with my sexual content.
Well, at least she's a real YouTuber, you know? You can't be a real YouTuber until you do this. Am I right, guys?
I'm sorry to the victim I groomed. I don't want to say their name. I want to protect their identity. I'm sorry for what I've done.
Okay.
I'm ashamed of myself for doing this.
Well, it sounds like the 14-year-old's doing okay. That doesn't mean that what this person did was okay, but I mean, and the only reason I think that is because I don't know. I've heard the 14-year-old talk for 3 seconds because most of this was about the roommate, apparently, which is bizarre. But yeah, okay.
Hurting everyone. I'll be closing my Discord server. I'm shutting down my Patreon. I won't be posting my art. If I ever come back, it will be years from now. Once I've gotten better and once I've made sure that I can be responsible with the platform I've created. I feel so sorry for Jack. When he learned what I had done, he cried. And he doesn't feel safe living with me anymore. I've hurt him so much. I don't know why I did this. He doesn't want to support me anymore, and I don't blame him. But I love him so much, and it pains me that I've made him feel like this. All I ever wanted to do was help him and give him a safe environment to live in, and I failed him. I don't want to make it out like I care more about hurting Jack than hurting the victim.
Who the fuck is Jack?
I'm deeply
Is Jack the friend?
upset that I hurt the victim, but Jack is my best friend, and I can't believe how much
Who the fuck is who's Jack?
I betrayed him. He's been hurt so much by his abusers, and he learned that
Who's
I did
Jack?
the same thing that they did to him.
The other person was Jack? What the fuck?
I can't forgive myself for breaking his heart like that. It breaks my heart to see him so distraught. I don't want anyone to try to defend me. I don't deserve your pity. I'm not the victim here. I did this to myself. Pray for my recovery. Pray that I get better and never do this again. I'm so sorry I did this.
Okay. That was something. Now we got my response part 1. I'm assuming this is like a more in detailed response. I'm not a groomer. Response to Bert. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep
in the past week has made sense. I was completely convinced that
Who is this response from? I gotta turn it up.
I was a predator and a groomer and that I needed intervention. I'm realizing I might not even have a clear understanding of what grooming is. I believe
Maybe, but you still shouldn't be sending weird stuff like that to kids, so I don't think it really matters.
I groomed a child because Jack told me I did, and I believed him because I trusted him.
I'm not trying to be rude. Who's the him? Is Jack a boy? I thought Jack was a girl. I'm so confused.
Doesn't know what he's talking about. I made my confession under duress. I fully believed that
Okay, this is insane.
I was a groomer because Jack told me I was one, but I don't believe that anymore. I am not a groomer. I did not groom Enno. It honestly feels like everyone has their own
okay.
definition of what grooming is, which is so fucking dangerous. But smart people define child grooming as the act of deliberately establishing a relationship with a child to prepare them for abuse. As an action
Kind of, sure. I mean, what you did was so wrong. But okay.
in and of itself, grooming does not have
The tone of this video is like, I didn't really do anything wrong, so no biggie.
criminal penalties, but facilitation of a criminal sexual act is considered a crime. Many of you likely saw my video where I stated I groomed a minor, and I saw quite a few people point out that it's very strange. The main reason I saw was, people don't usually confess to things like this, they try to fight back against these things. But none of you questioned if what I was saying actually made sense. I was coaxed and guilted into a false confession by someone I loved and took care of. Someone I worked my ass off to provide a moderately comfortable lifestyle.
What the fuck is happening?
Not only for them, but for the 2 cats they begged me to adopt. One of which he fucking stole from my apartment. My conversations with Enno, while inappropriate and irresponsible, trust me, you will never fucking catch me trying to act like this was an okay thing to do. I wasn't flirting with Enno. My messages have been misinterpreted in the most bad faith and malicious manner possible. Now that I'm having to sit alone with my thoughts
Well, what was the messages? What?
for the first time in a really long time, I've been able to reflect on everything. And I've realized that I was very misled by Birdie on many things regarding psychology and psychology-related subjects. I looked to Birdie for any and all information on these subjects because it was their, quote, special interest, and I figured he'd at least know more than the average dumbass. But I've started to realize that the answers he gave me on mental health subjects depended almost entirely on what was most convenient for Birdie. Here are some actual qualifiers for what constitutes as grooming, as is listed by a simple Google search. Isolation of the child. Building the child's trust. Inappropriate communication, which includes—
Well, I mean, isolation usually means that you're trying to disconnect them from other friends and family, potentially. But it could also be if those conversations were in a one-on-one capacity.
Asking for secrets to be kept, and using sexual language that the child may not understand, and educating the child on the subject. Buying gifts, giving the child special attention.
You realize you don't have to do all these things, and the child is going to interpret it as special attention if you're giving it in a one-on-one capacity. So, yeah.
Singling out the child to make them feel more mature, special, or different from other children. Showing particular interest in the child. Victim selection. And substance misuse. I did not isolate Enno. Enno was actually already isolated when they first met me. Enno has told me directly that they only—
Well, then people would argue that you found them in a vulnerable state and took advantage of them for that. This isn't a very good defense.
Or speak to like 3 people. That being Sophia the Neko, me,
The problem with the tone of this is not that they're like, hey, I didn't technically groom them, which might be true. It's the undertone is like, oh, I didn't really do anything wrong, which you totally did. So
another person I don't know. I never got jealous if they hung out with other people instead of me. I never told them who they could and could not hang out with. I didn't want to control who they were hanging out with. I wouldn't get upset if they didn't talk to me. The only thing I can think of that probably looked like I did is if I said something in their DMs and they took forever to respond, I would get anxious.
I just want to read what this says. Boy watched with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation as she returned carrying blankets and pillows, unsure of what she had in mind, but dreading the worst. He sat up on the bed, watching her carefully as she approached him. What are you going to do with those? He asked softly, his voice trembling in his anxiety. Where'd you go? Sorry, I passed out. Hurry. Why is this he so afraid? My body forced itself to go to bed longer. Okay, I thought Yo upset you. Numb. You didn't. Okay. Incredible. Why are you talking with a fucking 14-year-old like this? Okay, now I'm starting to think that you actually maybe did groom him. What the fuck?
Anxious and think that I upset them somehow. I do that to everyone, though. I'm just really anxious. I don't like the idea of bothering people. Building the child's trust. I don't think I was ever even interested in building their trust. The only thing I was ever really concerned about was making them upset or uncomfortable.
So, like, if you're comfy with me telling you, I'm comfy, just make sure I'm not breaking your boundaries. Comfy with you telling what?
In fact, it already kind of seemed like they just automatically trusted me with a lot. I didn't really have to do anything on that front. Even then, it was
that does not make you look good at all.
Just never on the forefront of my mind. Inappropriate communication. The examples given are asking for secrets to be kept, using sexual language the child may not understand, and educating the child on the subject. I will not deny that my conversations were inappropriate and I shouldn't have been having them, like, to begin with. The only instance of me asking them to keep something a secret would be me saying to them, please don't tell the public I'm depraved.
Chubby boy male. Awful thought about blank. I'm an ass man. What can I say? I love butts. Cannot lie. Don't tell the public I'm depraved. Males have shoes. Boy doesn't. Or why are you talking like this?
The secret's kind of just out now. I don't care anymore. I never intended to keep our relationship a secret.
But you're having this conversation with a 14-year-old. This is extraordinarily bizarre and gross.
That was never even something I was intending to hide. It was also never my intention to educate Enno on any particular, like, sex shit. I don't know. Now that I think about it, majority of the inappropriate conversations we had revolved around sadomasochism and, like, sadistic fantasies.
So show it to us.
Not really sex. Sex was definitely brought up, but it was never my intention to educate Enno about it. Buying
Why is it brought up with a 14-year-old?
gifts or giving gifts. Didn't do that. Enno actually made like a shit ton of gifts for me, but I don't think I've ever made anything in return, which saying out loud makes me feel kind of shitty. But no, I never made any gifts for Enno. Now, I did ask them to make things for me a lot. The most inappropriate thing I think I've asked was for like a comic. I'm not gonna pretend I'm justified for doing that. No, I think it was inappropriate. Fucking weird and cringy. But everything else I can think of was mostly just ship art. Giving the child special attention. Examples given are singling out the child to make them feel more mature, special, or different from other children. The fact that I was talking to Enno at all could be seen as me giving them special attention.
Yes,
but not once did I ever tell them that I thought they were more mature, special, or different. The only example I
You don't have to do all these qualifications for this to be grooming, right? You know that, right?
think of is toward the beginning of our conversations when I told them they were funny. But I wasn't trying to make them feel like they were different from other kids. Showing particular interest in the child. I wasn't particularly interested in Enno. In fact, I had 2 other friends who I was talking to like this, and they knew that. Cough, Kenny.
Why the fuck are you having these conversations with people in general? This is bizarre. Like with any kid.
Cough, brother, bitch ass. Victim selection.
Also, if you have a pattern of hypersexual behavior, as you like to call it, that would mean that you're doing it to a lot of people doesn't mean that it's like a normal behavior, because that's what she's trying to do, is say it's like, oh, it's kind of a normal behavior. I would do it with everybody. This doesn't make it a normal behavior.
I did not select them. In fact, they talked to me first. Substance misuse. Didn't do that. Now, there's some other things that we really need to discuss when we're talking about this whole grooming situation. So firstly, I am a hetero woman. I am attracted to men, as you can see from these fucking cringy-ass conversations that I had with Enno. I am attracted to men, as you can see from these fucking cringy...
My chat with Eno, the 14-year-old, will be in the description. Okay. Oh, is it in this description?
G-ass conversations that I had with Enno. I did not want to date Enno. I never considered that as an option. I did not reach out to Enno. And it took Enno 3 months of persistently pestering, prying, and giving me gifts before I finally gave in and spoke to them.
They're 14.
Persistent...
They're 14. You're 20. You're an adult. Sorry I haven't responded to you. I'm a bit paranoid, and also Soph contacted me directly. It's okay to be paranoid. I can't imagine how you feel in your situation. I'm glad to hear so. Why are you paranoid? It sucks that people are being silenced for pointing out this is clearly wrong in the comments. Some people will be directed towards somebody popular. They don't like it, immediately jump the bandwagon. Why would you be anxious that you're paranoid? What are you paranoid for? What the fuck? Dude, I don't even know what this is. I can't even look at this folder and like interpret anything that's posted in here. These messages are a fucking mess. There's nothing here that I even know how to interpret in these messages in this mega folder. I can't even look at this.
Constantly pestering, prying, and giving.
Dude, you're so weird.
I did not reach out to Enno, and it took Enno
She hasn't shared any DMs with wondering what we have.
3 months of persistently pestering.
Took 2 hours. Okay, this is
prying.
Are you bragging about a 14-year-old being obsessed with you?
And giving me.
If anything, this is even more of a warning sign that you shouldn't be getting close to them because they're very infatuated with you.
Gifts before I finally gave in and spoke to them. From the start, I remained very reserved and kept Enno beyond arm's length. I wasn't super.
What are you talking about? You were having all like hypersexual conversation. How was that reserved?
In talking to them until they sent me an image of me laying in bed, and I made a joke about it being.
Are you laying in bed? Dude, this is fucking insane work. This is insane work here.
I wasn't super interested in talking to them until they sent me an image of me
laying in bed. Your Sona, the blue square, but the majority of your characters in general have a very stylish proportional hair. What is the fuck is this?
Laying in bed, and I made a joke about it being inaccurate.
Okay.
Because Boy wasn't there. Once Enno started indulging in my very strong autistic infatuation with Boy.
You're autistic. No, that's your excuse now.
That's when I started talking a lot more. And as we kept talking, I felt a lot more comfortable sharing certain things about the character that I liked, including personal fantasies. In hindsight, I really should have filtered myself when talking to this person. Definitely should have practiced some restraint.
The 14-year-old? Really?
Not proud of this. But it was never my intention to desensitize them or harm Enno. That was never on my mind. I imagine that's fairly obvious if the DMs are actually read with more than one brain cell activated. I've been speaking to some individuals who are very critical of me, but they've been fair. They disagreed with the idea that this was grooming because one of them, who goes by Kumo, thought something was off about the evidence that was used to back up the claim. Kumo has been very critical of child predators and people who enact performative vigilante justice online for validation or personal gain. It was explained to me that my understanding of grooming was clearly warped, and these conversations just sounded like, I'm quoting Kumo, locker room girl talk. I myself have never been very social.
What? Locker room girl talk? Oh wow, we're really justifying this.
I would even call myself socially inept. I'm a bit of a retard, so I never considered that there was an existing dynamic that sounded similar to my conversations. This was two girls talking about Jeremiah down the block and how hot he is. Once again, I feel the need to make this painfully clear that I am not excusing how I talk to Enno.
You 100% are. I don't know what you're talking about. This is 100% I didn't do that. 100% an excuse of. What are you talking about?
It was inappropriate, it was irresponsible, it was negligent, and I shouldn't have done it. I regret it a lot. I should have made the responsible choice and stopped these conversations before they even happened. But I
think that listen, here's the thing. They were clearly having sexual conversations with a child, with a teenager, I guess we could say technically. Because you admitted it to, you thought it was some kind of grooming, right? Now, does it mean that it was technically grooming? That doesn't necessarily mean it was, but when the person approached you and you admitted to it being grooming, it's because you most likely thought that grooming was anything that had to do with a sexual conversation, right? Now, it could have been a grooming tactic, could have just been inappropriate, but like clearly you're admitting here, at the very least, that you were having a sexually inappropriate conversations with a kid. So we know that for sure. So what the fuck are you talking about?
know for a fact that this was not grooming. None of the previous qualifiers can be found in my DMs with Enno, because I did not groom Enno. My therapist doesn't even think I groomed Enno. And the obvious rebuttals to that could be...
Your therapist?
Well, we don't know what Cindy was saying to the therapist.
Yeah, no shit.
What reason do I even
I don't even believe that you have a therapist. To be honest with you, you're like, I'm going to get help, guys. And it's like, okay, that means that implies to me that you don't have... That you were talking about how you're going to see a therapist. That implies to me that you haven't been seeing a therapist. So... And then I also would question if you'd actually say that to your therapist the first time you met them. I don't even know if I believe any of this.
I have to lie at this point. I came into their office specifically saying I believed I groomed a child, and then after telling them all the details, they don't think that what I did was actually grooming.
I struggle to believe that this is real. That you actually
Jack has decided to ride the wave of this controversy to accuse me of sexual assault. But I think anyone listening to what Jack said should be able to recognize that...
she went through BetterHelp, true.
What actually happened is he retracted his consent long after what happened, which is not only disheartening, but I believe constitutes slander. As someone
I don't care about Jack at all, to be honest with
who
you.
has been sexually abused in the past, as a child, the fact that he's so comfortable weaponizing our consensual touching not only makes me unholy levels of pissed off, but also makes me feel extremely heartbroken. Jack is someone I trusted and cared for and loved unconditionally for nearly a year, and he's willing to lie and deceive with clear intentions of ruining—
Hey, Jack Esposito, how you doing? Not the same Jack, guys. This is a good Jack. I'm no expert. A good rule of thumb is for adults over 18 not to talk to anyone under 17 unless it's for work or their family. Keep boundaries clear. True, I agree with that. I personally would take it, I'm a little less aggressive on it, and just say, don't send porn to kids. I set the bar even lower. You could talk to people depending on like what the reason for it is. I don't know. Maybe you have like a class together. Or you're in the YMCA. I have no fucking idea. But just don't, don't send porn to kids, guys. So hot takes might be hard for some people. Not me. I'm built different. Not hard for me.
I have been labeled a child predator. I've been framed as a sexual deviant, described
You
and
are
implied
a sexual deviant
to be a violent degenerate and an aggressive rapist.
and I don't think I wouldn't feel my kids wouldn't feel safe around you. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't let my kids be around you.
Jack and I had lived together for about 9 months, and in that time we established a friendship with boundaries still being discovered. I deliberately asked Jack if the things I was doing were okay, and Jack said they were. I was not under the impression that Jack was not comfortable or even unhappy with these silly acts of poking and squishing. Had Jack communicated to me as such, I would have stopped and apologized profusely. Given the nature of our friendship and the level of intimacy we shared, I half-jokingly asked Jack to sit on my face while clothed, to which he politely declined, and I respected their answer. This was out of morbid curiosity and honestly—
I feel like they had some kind of relationship, so I don't really care about any of this.
That shit was gay as fuck. I'm just a girl. Het guys have similar humors and dynamics to my understanding. I've seen what the homies get up to, and it's all in good fun to call them gay and tease about it, but being curious isn't indicative of someone's orientation and preference.
I don't care about you, Jack.
Jack has grossly misinterpreted our relationship in a manner that really fucking hurts, dude.
Jack didn't care about any of this until they found out that they were talking to a kid, and then Jack seems to be more concerned with being betrayed than the actual child involved. So
Jack's GoFundMe is a scam and it's slanderous. Jack's selling point on the GoFundMe that raised over $10,000 in like 3 days.
Wow, a lot of fucking idiots, huh?
Was that he didn't feel safe living with me anymore. As if I'm some sort of evil, deranged, violent rapist that was gonna groom Jack next for saying awful shit about me in the next room. Ironic, considering I was a fucking sobbing mess on the couch, laying in the fetal position, breaking down over the awful shit that he said to me. Jack was not financially independent, but neither am I. I occasionally had to rely on Jack's social security to make ends meet and maintain our lifestyle and security. Jack made a little under $1,000 each month from his benefits. Jack was unemployed and hardly attempted to make any income through commissions. For the 9 months we stayed together, I would say that half of that time I was paying rent in full. We moved in November and Jack hadn't considered splitting rent until February. I had to beg Jack to pay only 1/3 of rent with their social security, and he tried to refuse. That would be a total of a little under $300 a month out of the money that was meant to go toward things like rent. I don't think Jack even understands what that money was granted to him for. For the final 2 to 3 months that Jack was staying here, Jack was no longer receiving social security due to him not attending a court hearing. Meaning Jack stayed in my apartment rent-free in the time that he had the audacity to pull this shit. I paid for the food. Jack being autistic requires some pricey and specialty items to be constantly in stock. So this was more than just feeding 2 people and 2 cats. Jack's only bill, aside from the 1/3 of rent—
How expensive is macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets, though?
—was the internet, which checked out to be $45 a month. Jack's social security is what secured this apartment. Jack has asked their viewers, in light of grooming allegations of a 14-year-old, for their money to enable them to ditch their living situation and leave me to handle all the loss. Stealing one of the pets that I own and pay the medical bills for, that I fed and took care of. To make matters worse, Jack has tried to ruin my life in many different avenues. Jack has isolated me from my only real-life friends and socially engineered my coworkers against me. Jack has made a public spectacle about this and ruined my reputation, to the point that my family heard about it. My fucking brother heard about this situation at school. Jack—
Did the brother's friends try to hit you up after this? Like, what the hell's happening here?
Has gone on Twitter and wished me more than death. I will go more in depth on that later. But he's publicly celebrating my downfall and interacting with people who make art depicting violent and cruel acts on me. And he and everyone else feels justified doing this shit because pedos are bad. Speaking of—
Wouldn't really say it like that, given the situation here, but okay.
The fact that he feels so comfortable calling me a pedophile when he knows what I've been through and he knows how I—
Why does no one care about Jack Esposito in the chat? What the hell?
respond to those topics is driving me up a fucking wall. He should know damn well that I'm not a pedo. He is way too flippant using this life-ruining word. It's disgusting.
You were sending porn to a kid. Technically not pedophilia because they're 14, but, you know, you're gross, so.
I have learned in light of this situation that I have been surrounded by the most deluded and dishonest lunatics I've ever met. A group of people that are part of a wider issue, where you can say or do the most heinous acts to someone, so long as you call them a bad person beforehand. Whether they are or not seems to be debated after the fact. My confession was false, and the people who reacted thought twice and clearly wanted it to be true. They remarked that something didn't seem right, but didn't bother to question the legitimacy of the allegations and the confession. If I pulled the DM logs of Turkey Tom when he was 18 to 19, I have to wonder what I could find. If I did the same
I don't know, like Turkey Tom. What does Turkey Tom have to do with sending porn to kids? I don't understand.
Deadwing Dork, Chud Logic, Soph the Neko. I have to wonder, if we dug through every interaction you've ever had online, would there suddenly be more incentive to be nuanced and open-minded? Because those
what the fuck are you talking about? You sent porn to a kid and you admitted it. What the hell's happening?
those aren't even the things I asked for.
And then also this whole like plea to empathy, you admitted that you groomed a kid. And so they reacted with like, well, they admitted to it, so it must be horrible. And now you're like, well, I rescind my admission, and so you guys probably have some bad stuff in your DMs. Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I'm being represented in terribly bad faith, and I'd be surprised if anyone listed really believes they've never said or done anything that could be used.
So what, you want these people to be like, oh, well, they admitted that they did this thing, but you know what? Maybe they didn't. Like, what if they didn't? What's the expectation here?
Used against them in this manner. For those plugging their ears, I have to wonder how you would fare if you were the target. As long as we're all still here, I would like to talk about Jack's video that he made about me. He's the one who brought the situation to the public. He made a lot of points in his video, and I have a lot to say about them. I'm gonna be going more in depth on the things that Jack complained about in his video. I'd like to just get started. Jack's behavior throughout this situation has been really fucking strange, and I have to question what his motivation was, both in this situation and honestly in our friendship. I'm not sure why he felt like he needed $10,000 from a GoFundMe just to get away from me. That's a shit ton of money.
I would pay $10,000 just to get away from you. Oh my god.
Maybe it's for a fresh start, but it feels a bit exploitative. It feels strange to make a video educating people about someone you believe to be a predator.
Well, you're both obviously bad people. Like, just to be clear, you just seem to be worse than your friend Jack. I mean, anybody who couldn't see that based on that original video is kind of a fucking moron. So if you gave that person money after listening to a half-an-hour video where 2 minutes of it was actually of the actual victim in question talking, yeah, you're kind of an idiot moron. So I don't feel bad for you for giving up that much money.
And ask for a shit ton of money that isn't even meant to help the victim. I feel like he could have asked for enough to buy a plane ticket and a few months of food. Even then, I'm thinking about how we spent 4 days in Seattle for vacation, and Jack's family was exceptionally generous. His aunt let us sleep on her couch for those 4 days, and his grandparents each gave us hundreds of dollars just to shop in Seattle, as well as paying for our plane tickets to and from Seattle. But I heard the aunt suggesting Jack
Get a job, bro. What the fuck?
Ask his papa for expensive gifts because he's likely to buy them for him. If Jack needed money, I feel like he could ask his grandparents for help. Plus, his aunt went to fucking law school. She could probably help him find affordable housing under the guise that Jack is too disabled to work. I feel like his family would be more than likely to help him since Jack keeps framing the situation as an emergency. He needs to get away from Synnibear 3 right now! I've also seen plenty of people questioning the use of the panty and stocking designs on his GoFundMe page. I actually asked him that too, because he showed me the page when he made it. I asked why he was using a picture of the two of us, and his explanation was that he just threw it all together. I didn't push any further. I saw a lot of people also pointing out that it was weird to include the panty and stocking animation. I kind of agree. It's strange that in the video where you're warning everyone about Synnibear 3, the predator, the freak,
I'm not a freak, unlike Cinny.
you include an animation of me dancing on a stripper pole and taking off my panties. Jack claims I sexually assaulted him, which is just not fucking true. In his video, he shows a screenshot of
I don't really care about Jack. You probably didn't sexually assault him. I don't give a shit about any of this part. What about the kid?
me losing my mind over the fact that he was saying I assaulted him. This,
Yeah, thank you so much for the large gift from Kells 840. I appreciate that.
plus the fact that Jack admits to consenting to me touching him, should have tipped y'all off that he was talking out of his ass.
Touching back on Cindy's sexual assault towards me, I'd like to preface this by saying this is gonna get kind of graphic, so I'm sorry. On a daily basis, she makes comments when I ask how big and squishy it is and how she wants a boyfriend with an ass like mine, and she would constantly slap it and grab it. And I'm gonna be honest, I consented to this because I've never had an IRL friend before, and I didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay. And I also consented to her touching my boobs, and I guess this stuff is fine because I consented to it. But there's stuff that she did that I didn't consent to. She would often poke me in the ass or on my crotch and make jokes about fingering me, and I told her not to do this, and I said no multiple times, and I would even scream if she did it. But she did it even as recently as a few nights ago, I think. I still have my doubts about my feelings about this because with that thing I didn't continue to say no, and I confronted Cindy about this, and she said she thought I was joking when I said no, which I have a recording of, but I'll I'll show the recording later.
Yes, I did make a lot of comments.
Jack seems like a hypocrite. LOL. Didn't they show they were sending inappropriate drawings to Myers too? I have no idea. Is that true?
About Jack's ass and how big and squishy it is. I've smacked him on the ass, I've grabbed his ass, I've even used his ass as a pillow. I've played with his breasts, and I've always asked if what I was doing bothered him or made him uncomfortable, and he's always said he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. It's fine. He says
video's making me feel... Listen, I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything, but I'm just questioning Jack's identity as a boy, personally. But you know what? Yeah, I'm just saying. I understand, trans stuff better than some, but it's hard to believe when they're making animations of them very clearly expressing as a boy. So I'm wondering what that distress looks like to you, or if it even exists.
he didn't consent to me poking him in the ass or in the crotch, which I have to say, I don't know if he ever made it explicitly clear that he didn't like me poking him in the ass, and I do genuinely feel bad if I was making him uncomfortable by doing that. I say in the recording he took of me, by the way, I had no fucking idea I was being recorded, I tell him I thought he was joking when he told me no. There's a lot of things that I do to Jack expecting a specific reaction because he makes funny noises. I would often grab his face and squish it in my hand and he'd make a murr sound, and I thought it was funny. I would hold his nose closed, and when I let go he would inhale really hard. Funny. I'd pinch his double chin and he'd say, "My gizzard." Funny. When I poked him in the ass, he would scream. Not a guttural scream, like it would be easy for me to assume that he was scared or upset. It was like a silly scream, like, "Ah! Ah!" Last time I remember doing this, though, he didn't react at all. He was playing with Swerp on the cat tree and I poked him in the ass and he didn't react. He just kept playing with the cat. He didn't even flinch. How am I supposed to know that you don't like what I'm doing if you don't tell me? If you told me before, then it wasn't really clear. You gotta be explicit with me. I'm autistic. I'm stupid. He says I poked him in the crotch, and I have
being autistic is the excuse here. Is incredible.
Memories of doing this, and both times I immediately apologized afterwards. I poked him in the gents on accident because I was trying to poke him in the ass and I went too low, and he told me, "You poked me in the vag." And I apologized profusely and stressed that I didn't mean to. I poked him in the pubic area once and then immediately asked if it was okay to do that, and to be frank, I don't actually have a clear memory of his response. I don't know why. This isn't something I do regularly. That's why I had to question if I
doubt that. I'm almost guaranteed this is something you do regularly. But okay, considering the way that you talk about how you have constant sexual conversation with all your friends and you constantly do this.
Actually did that in the recording.
She would often poke me in the ass or on my crotch and make jokes about fingering me and
Sometimes when I poked him in the ass, I would say, "Star finger," because I thought it was funny. He brings up the fact that I asked him to sit on my face. I do understand if he's upset that I would ask him to do this. It's a sexual situation in nature, and he declined for that reason. If Jack doesn't like that I was willing to ask him to do that, he has every right to be upset. What he doesn't have the right to do is revoke his consent of me touching him and claiming I sexually assaulted him just because he doesn't like me anymore. That's pussy shit.
And I'm gonna be honest, I consented to this because I've never had an IRL friend before and I didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay.
My brother in Christ, you are an adult. You choose what touching is okay. There is no rule book. Jack admits in his video to not looking over the evidence, which just irks me, dude. Your best friend is being accused of a bunch of shit, and you can't be bothered to look over any of it. Or even fucking get someone else to look over it for you. The original Addressing Synnibear 03 document is a fucking joke. I'll get to it when I get to it. But the information he got from me directly about the doc was me ranting about some of the dumbass points I saw while I skimmed through it while I was at work. There are some things that are definitely worth criticizing me for, and I'll get to those, but most of it was so unbelievably stupid. If you started to doubt me, why not have someone else relay the information to you at least? What about Laurel? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I should be responsible for relaying this information to you, especially when I was at fucking work when this was happening. You gotta find this shit out on your own.
No, I have not been mooching off of Synny. I have actually, I've helped pay rent every month. I've helped pay for groceries. I've given Synny money for gas. I've paid for a lot of her things. I have not been mooching off of her, but...
I was not mooching off of Synny is a wild statement considering how much I was doing for you. We were living together for almost half a year, and I would say half that time you were staying in my apartment rent-free. The first few months we lived together, I was paying the rent in full, and I had to fucking plead with you to pay 1/3 of the rent. Not half rent! I offered Jack pay 1/3 of the rent because his benefits paid him half of what I get paid. I had to fucking drag it out of you, and you whined about it. You haven't paid rent for the
This is petty kid drama right now. I don't care about any of this.
Past few months because your benefits were revoked. I cook, I clean the apartment, I do the dishes, I do the laundry. You sometimes clean the litter boxes when I ask you to. I drive you to your appointments. I pay for your medicine. I take you on car rides when you're sad. I buy you ice cream every week.
Are they dating? I don't understand.
I have to fucking bribe you with ice cream so you'll get out of bed and go to Social Security to try to get your benefits back. I was taking care of you, and it's fucking wild that you have the audacity to paint me as a monster and call me a pedophile when you should know that isn't fucking true. I've always been by your side, as long as you were willing to get better. I stood by your side when the internet still hated you and thought you were a groomer. I stood by you when you drew over the
What the fuck is happening?
borderline 12 shooting memorial. I am heartbroken that you threw away our friendship as soon as it wasn't easy being my friend, when I have done everything for you. You are a fucking coward.
This is like the most toxic breakup I've ever seen.
Not only would I call you a moocher, you're also a thief. You stole my jewelry, the fake nails that our mutual bought for me, and you took our fucking cat when you don't have a stable housing. I genuinely believe you should bring Squirt back to my apartment because you cannot take care of her on your own. You can't even take care of yourself. This isn't me being malicious and trying to take your cat from you because I'm upset with you. I don't think you can take care of her. And if you try to make the argument that I forgot to feed her a couple times when I left for work—
it sounds like you were able to take care of young, vulnerable things, so I guess you'd be better for the cat, huh?
I knew that they would be okay if I didn't feed them as soon as I got up because you were always home. I have to work all day while you sit on your ass at home and draw. You also begged me to get these cats. You should be willing to contribute to taking care of them by feeding them and cleaning up after them. Especially when you're always home. Jack brings up my obsession with Boy. Let's talk about Boy. Something that keeps getting brought up is the fact that I'm simping over a minor's character. Okay, who fucking cares?
Oh, it's a minor's character? This is all very weird. What the fuck?
Character is an adult. That is what matters. Sock is a—
Why are you— how old is the minor, and why are you engaging with I'm just so confused of what the fuck is happening right now.
uncomfortable with how I'm using Boy.
A minor's character? Like, what circles are you running in? I don't understand
They
this.
blocked me. I don't care. I think I've made it very clear in the leaked DMs that I think Sock is way too sensitive when it comes to their characters. I think it's insanely stupid to post your characters online and then get upset when people get invested in your work.
Why do they know that you're sexually invested in their work is like my question. Like what? Like that's the real question. You know, if I was gonna jerk off to some fucking character or whatever, why would I let the person who made it like aware of it? Like, were you talking about how much you loved it to your friends, which is really strange behavior in the first place? Or did you tell them directly, I love jerking off to your character? Like, what is happening? I don't get it. I don't.
Allowing people to ship your characters, ship themselves with your characters, make headcanons for your characters, kin your characters when you're posting them to the internet where everyone can see them is fucking ridiculous. Just try and control the internet. You will fail. I am tired of acting like she has any say over my creative freedom and self-expression. She blocked me so she doesn't have to see my art. That should be good enough for her. The only people hurting her are the ones who go out of their way to show her the things that I've drawn. Watch me continue to have beef with Sock.clip. Before I get into my biggest concern, here's some smaller critiques that Jack had about me. He had an issue with me talking about sex AIs in my 13+ server. This is actually something I believe was a problem. I shouldn't have talked about it in my server. That was irresponsible and cringe. And you know what? Someone did actually DM me saying that I shouldn't have been doing that, and I agreed with them and didn't do it again. I believe
Why were you doing it in the first place? You shouldn't need education on something so basic. I don't understand.
Contemplated making like a public apology within the server, but my mods told me not to. I don't have any evidence of this because the server was deleted and I didn't know how to export the files. So take what I say with a poke in the ass. Boop. Jack says it would have
probably not appropriate to make that joke considering the situation, but okay.
been better if my server was 16+, and I will be honest, I don't know about that. You'd prefer if I was talking to 16-year-olds about which bots I can fuck? See, Jack is under the impression that 16+ is an appropriate label for sexual content, and I was
under— better than 13+, but yeah, you're both weirdos.
That impression too for the longest.
The deviant art style art community, to be specific, is normally pretty weird. Oh, that's what this is? What the fuck?
Time. I think it's because the animation art community often use 16+ on sexual or suggestive content, and that's the community we grew up with. Realistically, it's still weird. Why even take a chance with the age stuff, honestly? If I—
why are you the one trying to relay this information to us? You made a mistake. You fucked up. What the fuck?
Ever make another Discord server, it is going to be 18+ with precautions to prove your age. This shit is annoying. Jack was upset that I was sexting an AI bot while he was laying on top of me. I wasn't like touching myself or anything, but to be honest, I can see why this would upset him. I'm not gonna act like Jack was being irrational by getting upset that I was sexting an AI bot when he's trying to spend time with me. I do find it weird that he's upset that I would hide my DMs from him. He pushed to see my DMs at some points and I didn't want to show it to him. He admits that he knows I talk sexually with a lot of my friends, so I don't know why he didn't just drop it. Especially when he's hidden his DMs from me when he was talking to his partner or even to Laurel. It's a strange thing to complain about.
I don't feel safe here anymore after learning what happened.
I completely understand if my actions have made Jack trust me less, and he doesn't want to support me. I'm annoyed because I did that for him, but I'm not entitled to his presence in my life. I think it's odd that Jack insists that he's in danger to some extent by staying with me. Do you think I'm gonna get you? Do you think I'm gonna hurt you? Genuinely, how are you in danger by staying with me?
Well, I wouldn't want to be with somebody who did weird shit like you, so there you go.
I've established how what I did wasn't sexual assault. You don't get to revoke your consent. It really feels like he's making the situation about himself. Literally nothing—
that part's true, but you're still a fucking weirdo.
He's done has been in the interest of protecting Enno. And a lot of his behavior has actually put Enno in danger. Not only—
like what? What does that mean?
only does he and Sophia not censor Enno's name in their videos like I was trying to do in mine, Jack included Enno in a section in his video, and he leaves in her Discord tag so any random motherfucker can contact them.
Is Enno a boy or a girl? I'm very confused.
Anyone. If that's not bad enough, the document that shares our DMs, the one that Jack made Enno make for his video to come out, it doesn't just expose my kinks and fetishes. You're exposing that Enno likes this shit too, because Enno can be seen responding positively to a lot of this. People can use this information.
Okay, I haven't read the messages, but because this person admitted to grooming. So why were you having conversations with a kid about your kinks? Is that an unfair question? I don't understand. This is why it's not really necessary to read it, because very clearly this person was engaging at the very least in extraordinarily inappropriate behavior. What the fuck is wrong with you, though?
Information to prey on Enno. Enno would have been kept safer if this entire situation was handled privately. Jack! Not only that, but Jack has caused people to attempt to contact Enno's parents, which freaked them the fuck out. None of this is being handled responsibly. Nothing he's doing is helping the supposed victim. I don't think he even really cares if
What?
I'm being completely honest. The way Jack has been treating me makes no sense to me, and I want to talk about it. He was insisting that this needed to be public, and he needed to have the first word. I made my apology video faster than he did.
I mean, I'm fine with it being public, because you shouldn't really have a platform if you can't handle this basic don't talk to kids stuff, but...
He begged me to wait until his was done uploading, because according to him, people would attack him because they'd automatically assume he's on my side. So I waited for him to finish the video before I could upload mine. I was extremely emotional at this point in time. I was crying all day, and I felt so sick that I had to take the day off work. I overheard him recording for his video, and I heard some of the things he said, and I went into a blind rage. That's when I sent him this text. I was furious. And yet later on, I went back to apologize because Enno told me I shouldn't send stuff like that to Jack because it was only driving him further away. I assume he was in a GC with Soph and Enno, and he must have sent them the text that I sent. Later that night, I came into his room and tried to reason with him and get him to stay with me, but he wasn't
This seems like a weird sorority drama or something. What is happening?
having it. I told him that I would do anything if he would stay, whether that be giving him my passwords or letting him look over my DMs with Enno, but he didn't want anything from me. I would have given anything to prove that I was willing to get better for him, and he made it clear that he needed to leave. I asked how long it would be until he left, and he didn't. I asked if I could just be with him and cuddle with him because I couldn't stand being alone. He said yes. I laid next to him and I held him, sobbing while he worked on the animation loop for his video. I watched him draw it. I remember asking why he was putting so much effort into an animation loop for a video that he insisted needed to be out as quickly as possible. I don't remember what his response was. That night, I took him to get Panera, and the whole time, he was acting so normal. It was like nothing was wrong. I remember while we were waiting for our food, I broke down crying again, and Jack told me, "If it bothers you that I'm acting normal, I'm just really good at masking." He got a Red Bull, I got food too, but my stomach was in knots and I couldn't eat anything. We watched Rick and Morty while we ate, and I remember asking if we could try finishing Rick and Morty before he left, and he said that sounded like a good idea. I laid in bed with him, and he showed me funny videos, but I just kept crying. I remember very vividly how Jack was just pissing himself laughing,
I hate
watching
both
this guy
these
eat a
people.
salad, meanwhile I was laying on top of him and sobbing. I asked if I could spend the night with him, and he said he wasn't sure if he could, but maybe tomorrow. I was upset, but I knew he needed space from me. I slept on the couch, I went to work, and when I came back, he was gone. He packed his shit and he left. I was so scared because I didn't know where he could have gone. I didn't know if he was safe or if he was on the street. I thought I had more time with him. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye or hug him one last time. I was heartbroken, and I was scared for his safety. He wouldn't answer my phone, and Laurel had blocked me. My IRL friends didn't know where he was, and so I had to call Enno. Enno stayed on
What the fuck is this?
the phone with me to keep me company that night, and they apologized profusely because Enno felt like
Okay.
it was their fault, and it wasn't. Through Enno, I was able to confirm that
Okay,
Jack
I just want to confirm because I'm lost. The Enno is the child, right? The Enno is the kid, or is Enno a cat? What the fuck is happening here?
wasn't safe, but he was alive, and he didn't plan on coming back. I relayed to him that if he needed anything, I would be there for him. If he was in danger, I would help him. It may sound upsetting that I had to call Enno of all people, but I had no one else to talk to. I had nowhere else to go. The next morning,
And I just want to be clear: is Enno the kid? Was Enno the kid? You're talking to the kid about how you groomed him? I'm so fucking confused. Papa, there's a community post on her channel about it. Enno's the 14. Why the fuck are you calling the 14-year-old for emotional support? What the fuck is this?
I woke up to really loud knocking on my door. The police showed up to my apartment to check on me. It was a wellness check. They said my real-life friend called them, but later I asked that friend and she didn't know what I was talking about. I saw Jack try-
Okay, so there's clearly a consistent pattern of this behavior. Why are you talking to a 14-year-old about this situation? About by the way, the main portion of it being you having an inappropriate relationship with that 14-year-old.
tried to call me multiple times, and I texted him back saying I'm sorry and I was asleep. And also the police came by, and he said, "We thought you died, lol." He didn't say anything after that. That was the last time he ever messaged me. I thought this was a good sign, honestly. I thought this meant that even though he was upset with me, he still cared enough to make sure I'm alive. He cared enough to call the police for a wellness check. I went to work that day, and late into my shift, I saw that he made a Twitter thread. He openly bragged about stealing my friends from me, and he told me to live and suffer, and he called me a pedophile. And he took a picture of the hat he left on my pillow before he left. The idea that he still cared about me was snuffed out almost instantly. I didn't know what to think of him anymore. I didn't know what he was capable of. I didn't know what he was willing to do. So I went into a delusional, paranoid state. I had to leave work early, but I couldn't go home. I was convinced that if I went home, then someone would be at my apartment and they would kill me. I thought Jack sent someone to my apartment, and they would kill me as soon as I opened the door. I bought 3 things. I got pepper spray, a pocket knife, and a crowbar to protect myself, because I was scared for my life. That real-life friend I mentioned earlier, I called them, and I told them I couldn't go home. I asked if I could stay at their place for the night, and they said they couldn't. I feel bad because I screamed at them over the phone when they tried to assure me that I wasn't actually in danger. They were just trying to help me out of my delusion, and I screamed at them for it. We set up a plan where I parked in a different town. They drove to me, and they took my spare key, and then they went to my apartment to check all the rooms, and they told me it was safe to come. They left before I came home, and when I came, I held my pepper spray in my hand and I checked all the rooms myself. And when I saw my cat, I just started crying. Stupid doesn't understand what's going on. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore. I'm feeling better ever since this happened, but fuck, man. I keep seeing the things that Jack posts on Twitter and it just makes me feel sick. It makes me angry. The fact that I thought he cared about me. I thought he loved me. And he says this awful shit publicly.
What the fuck is this? They're having like a lover's quarrel through a grooming scandal. What is the fuck is this?
Fucking victory lapping around me. Encouraging people to make hateful art about me. Talking about stealing my intellectual properties for himself to use. Knowing that I can't say anything about it. Because the internet fucking hates me. Trying to silence me once he found out that I was making my video. I can't help but think that he wanted me to kill myself. I love him.
I hate these people so much.
So much. But I can't help but feel like I was used. I did.
They're gonna end up getting back together, just so you guys know. You could already tell that these people, like, this, not for nothing, but this Synnibear person could have violently raped a 14-year-old, and this other person would have gotten back with them, because this is just some kind of bizarre, they just have such a bizarre relationship, and they are both just fucking weirdos, and they're both like very concerning individuals.
Everything for him. I loved him, and I thought he loved me, and I feel like he wanted me to kill myself. He's taken everything from me, and he's laughing at me. He's mocking me when I thought he loved me. I don't know where he is right now. I don't know if he's safe. I don't know what's happening to him. He said he was going to make a second video talking about me, but he had to stop because of something dangerous happening, and I don't know what he was referring to. I fucking feel sick because I still care about him. I genuinely hope he is safe. I still love him. Even after seeing all this. I still love him. I don't know why he's acting like this. I know he has borderline personality disorder, so I really hope that this is just him splitting on me, and maybe later down the line he'll come to his senses and realize that I'm not the monster he's saying I am. That could just be hopeful.
I'm friends with the monster inside of my head.
Black and white. He thought I was the most amazing person ever, and now he thinks I'm the worst. I hope it changes. I want my friend back.
Okay.
I think it'd be ridiculous to come out of this situation still thinking it'd be a good idea to put myself in spaces that are mostly occupied by children. I can see that I have a
probably should have known that earlier, huh?
huge issue filtering myself in these spaces, and I have theories as to why that is. I grew up in a
you're a fucking weirdo.
Community where adults and children made sexual content that was mostly consumed by children.
What are you talking about? What?
I've always had friends who I was sexual with ever since I was in elementary school. So I've gotten used to having relationships where I share intimate details with them. I've talked sexually with my fans when I myself was a minor still, and I think my brain never recognized that as an issue, nor did I recognize that my collective audience wasn't growing up at the same rate as I was. When I was a child, my audience was around my age. Now I'm 21 and my audience has grown too, but it's still mostly children. And I think I have trouble comprehending that.
So your audience hasn't grown. Listen, I don't really care about the macro conversation about this person and at all. I don't, not to be rude, I just don't really give a shit that you're talking to kids about weird shit. Like, enough is enough. And now this video is just like so tone deaf, it's crazy.
When I speak in public spaces. These reasons and theories do not excuse what I've done. I think the best solution would just be to put myself in spaces with other adults and not let this become a problem again. I gotta stop talking to people under 18, whether I think they're funny and fun to talk to or not. I'm still going to at least take a break from my social media. I don't think it'd be good for me to—
Wow, what a hot take there, guys.
To immediately come back. It doesn't feel right. I don't expect my video to change everyone's mind and make people think I'm a good person. I don't even think I'm a good person. But I'm not a predator. And to be as clear as humanly possible.
I mean, that might be true, but you certainly have a massive boundary issues. This whole fucking situation is wild as fuck. That's all I could say.
All these changes that I'm making are for me. Not for Jack. Not for you. I want to make an effort to be better. But I don't owe you shit.
Jesus Christ.
My name is Cine Bear 03. Baka baka.
Cine video, like...
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have ended it with Baka Baka, but incredible stuff there. This is the next video, but I want to read this. I want to read this. I took down my response video. This is on Synnibear's whatever community note. I don't think it's appropriate to leave it up. I don't think I was right to make that video. It was way too soon, and I was still processing what I had done. I was extremely emotional about the situation, so I put my energy into the wrong things. I was too focused on how hurt I was and took attention away from the people I had hurt. My priorities have been in the wrong place, and I recognize that. I was too focused on trying to fix everything instead of work on myself and my mental state. I was in no place to make a response video so soon. The people saying I don't care about what I've done or the people I've hurt are wrong. Okay? I simply hadn't processed the situation until recently. I realize how now that my actions have traumatized many people and I have no way of knowing how my actions will impact them in the future. I genuinely don't think that what I was doing was hurting them, and the fact that I didn't... You don't think? I mean, maybe you didn't. I don't know. Oh, I genuinely think that what I was doing was hurting them, and the fact that I didn't recognize that is definitely a problem I plan on fixing. I have a huge problem with oversharing extremely obscene and grotesque content with people I barely know, one of which was Eno, and that needs to change. I'm in therapy. I'm considering entering a rehabilitation program. What if I'm gooning? I do genuinely want to make sure I don't hurt anyone else with my degeneracy. I don't want to make any more victims. This isn't me trying to come back to my platform. I just want to make my intentions known. I took down my video because it was awful. I'm done blaming others, people for where I am. I'm getting help behind the scenes. Wow. Well, guys, I've never seen anybody ever say that they're going to get mental health help after doing something extraordinarily inappropriate. Shocker. Incredible stuff. Yeah, man, I believe that's it. This is fucking crazy. Guys, I changed my hat from Squirrel to Bulbasaur, so you know it's a new video, okay? We just watched the other one. I'm probably going to make this 2 parts because it's so long. But apparently this is where it gets juicy. And that's what an inappropriate thing to say considering the context of what's happening. But after that first part, this just seems like 2 people who are deeply and weirdly in love with each other fighting through a very seriously bad thing that one of them did. But the focus between the two, I guess Jack and Synnibear, doesn't really seem to be of the person that was negatively impacted. I'm speaking a little vaguely, of course, if considering the content of what's going on. I don't think anybody in the situation is very good, except for maybe the young person. Obviously, they're not bad. Yeah, I guess this is a response from a robot guy, and he defends Synnibear. That's all I really know. Sorry, let's go. Okay.
I was going to make a video talking about a recent document that was released about me, but the situation has gotten much more serious as I realize the damage that I've caused.
Another person in the art CC has been outed as a bad person.
Yeah, maybe these art people should stop. Okay, you got... Just to be clear, there was one art person, and they were pretty bad. They were pretty bad, those art people. One of them specifically. Something to do with Germany. You know, so maybe after that we should have realized that art people, not good people.
Gee, that's surprisingly new. In other news, there's gonna be a sunrise tomorrow morning. That being said, this situation might not be as cut and dry as you once thought. Unlike everyone else who rushed out their video on Cine, I actually reached out to her, and she agreed to do an interview with me. Just like
Okay, cool.
with the Pyrocynical drama, the Spoctor drama from 2016, and the Hopeless Peaches drama, there was something about the Synnibear situation that didn't feel right. I'll give you 2 options. You can take the blue pill and just believe the mainstream opinion about Cine, or you can
Did she admit it at this point? So what is the nuance there? I don't understand.
take the red pill, and I can show you just how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Just to be clear, I'm pretty sure she admitted it, so it's like, you know, I know she retracted the admission, but I don't know. Kind of a hard sell, bud.
Before I begin, I would like to make some disclaimers regarding this video. Number 1. One of the subjects involved in this video goes by a different name than they used to, due to identifying under a different name and gender. If you know the user by the name of Birdie within the animation meme community from years ago, a drama I actually made reference to in my last video, which I to this day do not know anything about, then you should know they now go by he, it pronouns, and they have changed their name to Jack. This is the ArtCC. Half the people in it are trans. When talking about their drama, I will
Why?
refer to it as Birdie, but for the rest of the video, I will call him Jack as that is what he prefers to be called. Second, please give what you can to help save my friend's family restaurant. A link to the GoFundMe will be down below.
Why are all these people asking us to donate to their causes? Am I missing something what is it that I don't, I must be the problem. Because I don't understand why everybody has a goddamn GoFundMe for everything. That Jax video was almost exclusively about them, even though there was a 14-year-old involved, to plug a thing. I don't understand why is this like acceptable in their weird culture, online art culture? I don't get it.
I know it doesn't seem like the time for it, but I promise my friend
Also, this robot looks gayer than C-3PO. I just wanted to say that.
Shout it out in every single video until we raise the money for it. And number 3, some of the stuff you may hear me talk about in this video will be a bit troubling to some, but I am going to keep my wording simple and brief and show evidence that will be highly censored. Now, you might have heard of the Birdie drama, back when they were bashed by the ArtCC for seemingly no reason. After all of that drama, they became best friends with Cine Bear 03, who I will just be referring to as Cine for the duration of this video. They moved in together around 10 months ago, but unfortunately, their friendship didn't last. Last time I heard about 2 ArtCC people moving in together, it was Kai and Omnia, and yeah, we all know how that turned out.
I don't, because I'm an adult that doesn't engage with stupid drama. Well, I engage with stupid drama all the time, actually, let's be real. But it's not this kind of, not art stuff. It's weird.
ArtCC people just don't move in with one another, it never turns out great. As for how I first learned about Synnibear 03, I first discovered Synni through
See guys, I play more mature games like God of War, okay.
Video on Spocter. Other than that, I just saw her video on Lio and Peaches, along with the first few minutes of her video on Deadwing Bork. Ironically, Synni brought up that she was moving in with Jack at the very end of her Spocter video.
I'm moving out soon. My original plan was to move out in January, but things have changed. I'm going cross-country to pick up my friend, so that we can roommate together. They've been an online friend for a long time, and they've been dealing with a really unsafe living situation for a while now, so I want to go get him. My family has been really adamant about me not doing this, though. They already hated the idea of me moving out so soon, but they hate my roommate even more.
When I heard this, I thought nothing of it.
I understand they're worried for my safety, but the way they've gone about being worried has been really stressful. I need to go on this road trip, I need to help my friend, and I need to make my own decisions. I need to get out of this house.
Remember all of this stuff about Synni's parents not being okay with her moving in with Jack, because it will become important later. As they were living with one another, someone made a document accusing Synni of doing very bad things with minors. Jack called Synni out for this, it made a video, the video absolutely blew up, and tons of people also made videos on Synni. I, along with many other people, wouldn't have learned about this situation for a lot longer if Jack didn't make its video. There are 2 docs that compiled all the evidence of what Synni did. The first one has 111 pages.
It's 111 pages long! You're kidding me! You're kidding me!
Sure, it's long, but it's mostly just screenshots. The most severe allegation—
Well, I mean, wouldn't that be good? It's mostly screenshots? Like, wouldn't the screenshots be a positive thing? Because it makes it easier, like, what is it supposed to be? Like, that's evidence, no?
in this document was that Synni was grooming a 14-year-old by sending them inappropriate pictures. Unfortunately, the doc is so long that most people didn't look at it in its entirety, and if they did, they didn't look at it very carefully. Now, some of you may be asking, how old was Synni when this all happened? Was she 16 when she was talking to the 14-year-old? Or 17? Nope, she was 20, about to turn 21. Like
wow, that makes her look really bad.
Birthday was right around the corner. The 14-year-old also made their own doc, and it's, oh god, 188 pages long.
188 pages? No! 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 No!
I guess this guy's a Turkey Tom fan, huh?
But it's almost entirely just made up of screenshots, so it's not as
why is there a dismissal because it's been made up of screenshots? I feel like screenshots is what we want, no? Why does that make it, like, less credible because it's screenshots? That makes it more credible.
As long as it may seem at first. Now, some of you might say that—
What is the document supposed to be made up of, other than screenshots? I don't understand. I'm so confused.
Screenshots are out of context, or maybe the messages are fake. After all, Discord is one of the easiest websites to use to fake messages. I mean, it's happened to me before, so it might have happened to Cinny. But the thing is, those allegations aren't just allegations anymore because Cinny admitted to it.
I've been an irresponsible content creator, and I've been acting inappropriately towards my fans. This alone is enough for me to realize I need to make sweeping changes to how I conduct myself and how I interact with my fans. But the most serious thing I've done is I've groomed a minor. I became friends with a 14-year-old after I made a mental note to myself to not become friends with minors again, and I overshared with them. I shared graphic, explicit...
My favorite part is that they're like, I made a mental note to not get close to minors again, and it's like, why did you need to make that mental note? That's insane to me.
materials.
Was that okay? Was that again? Was that the 17-year-old situation or whatever? Is that what we're referring to?
But I shouldn't have. I groomed this child, and I knew what I was doing was wrong. And I betrayed everyone who looked up to me. I betrayed my friends. I've done the worst possible thing I could have done, and I'm suffering for my choices.
On the one hand, I am happy she admitted to it so fast, but on the other hand, she groomed a minor! I could go over the proof in the doc, but the drama seems like it's already over. Proof of what she did came out, her roommate talked about it, making the situation blow up, and she admitted to it. It's like that one clip from Rick and Morty.
And now, another quick mystery. I just want to know who could have done something like this. It's a travesty. I did. See this knife and all the blood on it? Here's my fingerprints. Guilty. I sentenced you to life in prison.
Everybody, including Cinny, seems to be in agreement that she's a groomer, but I think
I forgot to continue the fight.
A lot of you want me to be as transparent as possible and go over the two really big docs. I've seen a lot of false information get spread around about this situation, and I want you all to understand.
So far this guy seems like he's not defending the Synnibear person like I thought, although I wouldn't imagine it goes. I could imagine it goes there. He's just like, hey guys, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna give it to you without you having to read 200 pages.
Understand exactly what's going on, because let's be honest here, most people aren't going to go through two massive docs. The only one defending
No,
Cinny
I'm just going to listen to the person who said that she actually did groom someone.
It all is a Kumo. And let's be honest here, he's a guy who everybody hates, so if anything, he probably made the situation even worse.
That might be true. I hate all of you. So.
For her. The guy is an absolute contrarian, and many people consider him to be a troll. Clearly, he's just doing this to stir up drama. But as I was working on my Cinny video, I kept on going back and changing a lot of things about it. And once I finished my video on Cinny and look at all the evidence I had lined up, it just didn't feel like a good video to me. I got that same feeling I had during the Pyro drama, the Hopeless Peaches drama, and the Spoctor drama. For those of you who do not know what the Spoctor drama is, basically back in 2018, he was accused of inappropriately messaging minors as young as 13 years old. But he got out of them because he did those actions when he was 16 to 17. Cinny was 20, about to turn 21, so there's no way she's innocent, right? Well, I told myself the same thing, but then I noticed she took down her apology video, and I decided to reach out to her because I just felt so uneasy. And after I interviewed her, which I will play at the end of this video, I realized that Cinny and all of you were lied to. I've gone against the mainstream art commentary community opinion.
How was she lied to? I found one of the interesting things I found in her video is that she gave the Jack person shit because they're like, hey, you're an adult, you can decide when to consent. But so is the Synnibear person. They're an adult, so they can decide whether them saying, hey, I did groom this person. Why wouldn't we take that at face value? Thank you for the small gut for me. Your mom is spicy. Thank you.
Opinion lots of times. I did it in the Peaches drama, the Antoon drama, and the Toby drama. Granted, the last one didn't go so well for me, but the other two went pretty well. I know 100% that I'm going to get a lot of backlash for making this video, but someone with
Does this person just like make a career out of trying to be like a contrarian about these things? Like, what is going on here?
A sizable audience needs to say something. The first big red flag to me was how quickly Cinny admitted to grooming. When it comes to groomers, they never do that. Cosmodor didn't do that.
That's... Sometimes they do admit it.
EDP didn't do that. In fact, there's not one single groomer that I can think of that has ever done that. The only person that I can think of who admitted to being a groomer before Cinny was Spoctor, but he was innocent. If you've seen my Vincent Skullman video on my old channel, then you know that
I you know, me personally, I don't really value, I don't really go like, this person admitted they were a groomer. Maybe they're not one. Like, that's not the strongest evidence against why somebody would be a groomer to me. Just to be clear, but okay.
Proven that RCC people are cartoonishly spineless. Just a little social pressure will make them admit to things that they haven't done. In court, people are allowed to rescind their guilty plea, and that is put into law because humans are, well, human. They can be pressured into saying that they're guilty even when they aren't. Tons of people have admitted to practicing witchcraft because they were pressured into it. Okay, John.
Yeah, well, back then they used to kill people for that kind of stuff. I don't know, so I don't know. This is a little different.
That may be true, but did you actually watch Jack's video? Yes, and it barely had any evidence at all. It is mostly just Jack talking, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's true.
Sock has expressed discomfort with Cinny
then she admitted it, so...
multiple times, and Cinny hasn't made an effort to change anything. She made graphic rape comics, including Sock's characters, and sent them to people she barely knew, who then leaked them because she didn't fucking know them. Sock expressed discomfort again, and Cinny doubled down and told Sock off because she can cope however she wants, I guess. I haven't looked at the screenshots. I've only heard like testimony of this, but it's disturbing.
I haven't looked at the screenshots. I've only heard like testimony of this, but
She has an obsession with Boy to this very day. Before I found out about all this, Cinny actually DM'd me last night and said, oh, Boy's yelling at me, because I think she has like an imaginary version of him. I don't know. And I was like, why is he yelling at you? And she's like, I don't feel comfortable saying. And then I found out from someone else what she did.
Wow. And I was betrayed because she didn't tell me.
Wasn't
I
gonna
had
tell
to
me.
find out secondhand information. What?
May bring up that Jack and Cinny were best friends, and it would be in denial about what their friend did. The thing is, though, Jack is very, very autistic. Like, I can't be the only
Okay, aren't they both? What does this have to do with anything?
one who thinks it's weird that Cinny allegedly groomed a 14-year-old, and Jack somehow makes it about itself and gets $10,000 in donations. Like, what? How does that work? If that's a rule from here on out, Professor Dreadlock has been messaging minors inappropriately. Now give me $10,000, please. Even if you're moving out, you don't need $10,000.
I'll watch Ben Shapiro on Jubilee. No, I can't. It's DMCA.
Unless you live in California or New York
Maybe I'll watch it on a members only stream, and then I'll like do like a rundown reaction of it. Actually,
or something. In fact, if you live in one of those two states, $10,000 will only cover your rent for a week. But why couldn't Jack just ask for, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 and then get a job? Well, that's because it doesn't work. Yep.
Did they ask for $10,000, or did they just get $10,000 from people?
Cinny was paying the overwhelming majority of the rent. Jack needed Cinny, but Cinny did not need Jack. Cinny is working a real job, she's making money, and she's paying rent. Jack for the longest time was on Social Security until he moved. So let me get this straight, we're paying taxes to it, and now we're giving $10,000 to it. It almost seems like Jack had everything to gain by throwing its friend under the bus. But Jar, the document had all the proof. I mean, look how many pages it had.
But Robot Guy, they admitted to it. Why is that not enough for you?
That evidence must prove that.
Oh, right, because they rescinded the admission. Got it. You're right.
He's a groomer, right? Well, actually, no. There's not one shred of evidence that Cinny groomed anyone. Just testimony, one of which came from herself, ironically.
You just said that there were like 1,000 screenshots, and you're like, oh, that was just screenshots. It's like, well, that would be the admission, no?
I want to make this 100% crystal clear. Cinny did 100% speak inappropriately around minors. But know who else did that? Pyro.
Recently, to those who are unaware, I've been accused.
Yeah, but Pyro was like 18 talking to like a fucking 15-year-old. So it was a little bit different. It's not the same.
Of grooming a 15-year-old boy when I was 19. That I'm some kind of predator.
Oh, right, yeah. So still, that age is more forgivable, which is not good, than 20 and 14, right? Like 19, 15, not great. I'd say inappropriate, but I wouldn't say that that's necessarily predatory. This one's a bit different. So it's 20 and 14. I mean, the age gap is rather much larger.
Of his age all along. This is categorically untrue and a complete lie. But a few days ago...
Also... they admitted to being a groomer.
So, a poorly written Google Doc is
surfaced. Byro didn't know the age? I don't remember that. But if that might be the case, I don't really remember.
It's claiming that I have lied in my response, and I'm 100% guilty. I just want to be clear, I have never lied at any point. This document is disingenuous, manipulative, and it fails to include so much of my original statement. This document makes, like, insane assumptions based on limited and broken evidence. It's not hard to dismantle it. It's just annoying that I have to be the one to do it. These conversations never led to any nudes being exchanged. It was just purely fantasy garbage, something which Ivory himself confirms.
Did he ever ask you for nudes? No.
Several of our conversations were leaked online by Ivory. Here's one of the more damning ones.
I'd love for my Sona to be licking at his fat, sweaty while rubbing his belly from behind, and then just...
Wow, incredible. Love it.
Having him gas all over my Sona's face. That would be so nice. Or if mine was just underneath him, getting railed underneath his huge belly, and your Sona could be gassing non-stop as he f***s mine like...
What the fuck is this? This is incredible.
Huh? Well, to be honest, I'd pick you up, hug you while... to be honest, I'd pick you up, hug you while rubbing you against my huge, sweaty moob.
Pyro's whole thing was he was using anyone for sexual RP, so he didn't care about the age. Yeah, that's seems rather different. This person knew the age, just 14, and the age gap is much more predatory.
Then kiss your cheeks, telling you how much I loved you, and then kiss you on the lips and let out a hard, long belch into your mouth. Come on.
I mean, yeah, we shared some fat furry art, we had some weird fantasy roleplay, but there was no sexual interest. There were no nudes exchanged, his name, his appearance, it wasn't important to me. He never once disclosed the fact that he was 15 at the time these exchanges commenced. He didn't include his age in his bio until he was 16, but I was not on Twitter between the 28th of December 2016 until the 29th of June 2017, as I was suspended. It would have been a hell of a lot less likely for me to see all but one of these tweets that's been used as evidence in this Google Doc. My Reddit post clearly shows that I was suspended from Twitter at the time that they were made, and that of course leaves the very last one, but like, what are the chances chances of you catching one specific tweet when you follow hundreds of people? I brought this up in my Reddit post as well, but it's been deliberately left out as some like shit attempt at manipulation.
Wait a second there, Jaw. The Cine situation and the Pyro situation are completely different. I mean, after all, Pyro didn't know Ivory's age. I think you need to see the next clip after this one.
When Ivory linked me his Twitter profile, the age in bio says 16. This is something I acknowledged in my Reddit post, but to be fair, I probably didn't elaborate enough on it. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learned of his age, even though at the time, I didn't see it as a problem. If it helps for context, because we're...
I mean, yeah, again, 16 and 20 at that point, pretty different than 14 and 20, just to be clear.
Being so open here, I'm straight, IRL, like, I have no interest in guys. This is just purely, like, a weird fantasy, and it does not carry over into the real world whatsoever. Of someone who drew, like, fan art of my Fox character back in 2016, I then apparently replied to them, like, jokingly saying not thick enough, and then asking for their age, and they said 15. So when people saw this, they instantly drew parallels to the grooming allegation. I asked them for a thick version, and they drew this, which isn't even really that different from previous things they drew before even getting into contact with me. I didn't commission it. What was drawn wasn't pornographic. They'd drawn very similar stuff before, and there was no roleplay here. It was nothing.
And last I checked, we pretty much all forgave him. Cinny is a coomer, a gooner, but not a groomer. Grooming requires intent and a desire to get with someone. Cinny did neither. If you want to get with a 14-year-old, you have to be a pedo. Now, Cinny makes a lot of coomer art, so there must be evidence of her drawing Shota, Lolly, or Cub, right? I mean, the signs were there in public for years. Just take a look at her channel. There are tons of videos where she would make suggestive animations of a minor character from My Little Pony. By that,
Oh, well, that's disgusting.
I mean, Scootaloo isn't a minor character from My Little Pony, but that she's a minor character. She's underage. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay, this is cut and dry. She's guilty. But the fact of the matter is, she made those animations when she was a minor herself. A lot of these inappropriate animations of Scootaloo are over 7 years old. Cinny just turned 21, so there are tons of videos where she would make suggestive animations of a minor character from My Little Pony. By that I mean Scootaloo isn't a minor.
Why did it just go back? Was that me?
Drawing Shota. If you want to get makes a but that matter is years old. Six pictures of character 21. So back then she would have been 14 years later. The problem with this is that this is not the art CC. It's the animation meme community. Stuff like this is absolutely normalized in this community. If you're going to cancel Cinny for this, then you better cancel everybody else in the animation meme community. There are plenty of animations that
Gladly. Gladly.
say 13 plus or 16 plus or whatever, and the characters in them are very scantily dressed and do inappropriate things. You can have a problem with this. Hell, you can demand that these videos are age restricted, but you can't just cancel Cinny for this and give everybody else a free pass.
Oh, get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them. No.
Plus, a lot of this stuff is no more inappropriate than things I've seen in animes like Fairy Tail and Naruto. Never forget what you were like when you were a kid. You enjoyed Misty when she was in her bikini, you enjoyed Naruto when he did his sexy jutsu, and you enjoyed when Fairy Tail just did a whole bunch of stuff. So just so we're clear here, back when
no, Fairy Tail got boring. I watched it the first season, it was pretty good, and then it just got really boring, and I just turned it off, so.
Cinny was 13, 14, and 15, she made animations like this, and just about no one had a problem with a minor making animations like this on the internet. Hell, judging by the view counts these videos got,
what the hell does this have to do with her talking sexually to a 14-year-old at 20 and then saying she groomed them? I don't really understand.
I go as far as to say that people encouraged her to keep doing stuff like this. So if she grew up with people constantly encouraging her to make animations like the one she's made, then it stands to reason that she would do the same when she grew up. But Jaw, that's not the only allegation in the doc, there's plenty of other stuff as well. I hear what you're saying, so let's look at that doc even more. Now granted, the old stuff she did wasn't that bad. Sure, making a 17-year-old uncomfortable when you're 19 isn't good, but it's not pedo stuff in my book. I'm one of those people who defended Call Me Carson, so I can't say she should be kicked off the internet for doing the same. If you would like to know the story between her and the 17-year-old minor, well basically she sent a bunch of inappropriate messages to the minor. She sent a non-con comic to the minor who was 2 years younger than her. The comic included an F&F character by the name of Boy, who was graping Nightmare Sand supposedly for the punishment of molesting children. Lovely. Oh, and by the way, to make everything worse, the OC by the name of Boy was created by a minor.
Ooh, that's bad.
The minor called out Cinny for this, and she apologized and made a promise that she would never ever do something like this again.
That's good.
Now, none of this stuff is wholesome Christian family fun, but it's not that bad. Tons of people have drawn inappropriate pictures of minors' OCs. It's bad, but it's less bad when Cinny did it because she was only 2 years older than the minor. If people don't want you to put their OCs in not safe for work situations, you should respect their wishes. But if you draw your OC...
You know, I've never had to have that discussion before. Isn't that incredible? Because this is the most fucking bizarre shit ever. What the fuck?
As a hot anime girl or a big buff man, you should expect people to draw them in not safe for work situations. Personally, guys, just draw not safe for work of me. Plus, there was a video made defending Cinny from these allegations. It got hundreds of thousands of views, and it was received extremely well. Sorry, but you can't just agree with a video that's debunking allegations, then change your mind on it because new allegations came out. This is bad, but it's a 2-year age gap, and most people only gave her a slap on the wrist for this because of Romeo and Juliet laws.
It's 2 years. No, I don't give a shit about 2 years at all. But this has nothing to do with the actual person, with this current person, so I don't give a shit. What the fuck are we talking about?
He was a senior, it's fine.
No, it's not fine. We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundation relationship. Statute 2705-3. What?
Granted, a lot of people don't agree with Romeo and Juliet laws, especially when it involves a 17-year-old and a
It's a 2-year age gap. I don't care.
19-year-old. After all, a 19-year-old can vote, get drafted, and do a bunch of other stuff, but a 17-year-old is still in high school.
Why the fuck are we going on about 19 and 17? This has nothing to do with anything.
Cinny did was bad, but it's not pedophilic, and she did receive backlash for it. Personally, the biggest problem I have is that
the 20 and 14 isn't technically pedophilic either. It's still extraordinarily inappropriate. Like, what?
she said she would never ever do this again, and she did. However, people are also more forgiving about this stuff when it's over the internet. Me hitting on a 17-year-old in real life is different than me hitting on a 17-year-old over the internet. After all, I can see this.
Maybe. I never thought about it, because they're really both inappropriate.
17-year-old in real life, but on the internet, I can't see what they look like. On the internet, I hear someone talking to me. In real life, I see a minor in front of me. Granted, I'm a lot older than Cinny.
I'm not understanding what you're trying to... I'm not understanding your point here. Is your point that... I don't understand your point. Are you going with, like, the argument that, like, oh, maybe they were mature looking? I don't... Don't talk to 17-year-olds.
If I'm talking to a 17-year-old, yeah, I'm gonna get a lot more crap for it. The example I'm giving only works if I'm 19 or 20. But the thing is, as far as I'm aware, Cinny wasn't hitting on this 17-year-old. She was just cooning with them. She would also post gore and say inappropriate things where minors as young as 14 were present. Sure, this isn't good, but it's nothing that would get you that much backlash. Personally speaking, I went on Live Leak a lot as a kid, and I saw some very gory stuff. Also, in the animation meme community, gore and bloodshed is just common. So once again, your hatred shouldn't be placed on Cinny, but the entire animation meme community as a whole. Like the fact that people are freaking out going, oh, think of the children, just makes me laugh so hard. If you guys are canceling Cinny for this, then why isn't Jack getting any hate? Look at the end of its video on Cinny. His avatar along with her avatar are stripping while being on poles, and this video wasn't age restricted. Oh, so many minors were exposed to this.
What the fuck is this unhinged ass video, dude?
Again, at the very worst, this is her being irresponsible, not grooming. Most of the stuff in the doc doesn't really show her doing that much bad stuff at the start. I don't think having your OC in a suggestive pose where minors can see it is that big of a deal. If it was, then the doc maker...
I mean, what? This whole video's
stuff at the start. I don't think having your OC in a suggestive pose where minors can see it is that big of a deal. If it was...
I mean, I don't feel like having this conversation, because this isn't nothing. This is about like private one-on-one conversations that were sexual and fetishistic. That's what does any of this matter?
Then the doc maker would also be at fault. Also, anyone who made a video about this situation, as they were linking the doc showing images of her OC in sexy outfits, would also be at fault. Guys, you can't call something then put it in a video without age restricting it! Sure, the doc does censor out a few things, but it doesn't look like anything that bad was blocked out. Like this image was gore art, not her being topless, or at least that's what I've been told. Yes, her avatar is in underwear, but they're not fully naked.
Why? Who? I mean, not for nothing, but who sends gore art unless they find it sexy? I don't. I mean, I think. What's the fascination of looking at gore art? Isn't this a fetish for them? So wouldn't it be sexual to them? Like, isn't that the whole point? Like, isn't that part of the whole thing? That they found gore sexy because they're fucking weirdos?
But then you have things that are a little bit worse.
Robot Vosh over here fucking defending them.
Like her saying to a 13-year-old that she's looking for a not safe for work chat.
Fuck this for sending my message before I finish my joke. Popping in to ask something. 40S4, is there a character AI that allows NSFW and won't let anybody see my chats? I don't need anyone seeing me go to second base. What is... Okay.
Bot to talk to because she's horny.
Yeah, probably shouldn't be doing that.
Maybe this is just me, but I don't think you need to be telling 15, 14, and 13-year-olds that you're horny.
Yeah, you don't. But then also, the tone of this video is that what she did wasn't really a big deal. So, like, you're just saying this to try to generate some kind of... credibility. Like, yeah, this isn't good, right, guys? I agree with that. But by the way, she's not really that bad. It's like, okay.
I skimmed over the doc because most of the stuff I saw in it was small potatoes compared to the accusation I heard about her grooming a 14-year-old. Then, when I finally got to the end of the shorter doc, I found out that the bigger and longer doc was the one about the grooming. Now, I want to make this clear. I do not believe Cinny is a pedo. She more than likely would have done this with anyone regardless of age. The 14-year-old who made the doc even thinks that this is the case. She was being irresponsible by talking to the 14-year-old this way, but I don't think she was doing it to get with the 14-year-old. Also, I'm gonna be real here. The idea that people are saying Cinny is a groomer but not a pedo is absolutely silly.
Why? A pedophile is somebody who's usually attracted to somebody that's it's usually somebody who's
I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want this.
Like, just to be clear, like a pedophile, pedophilia is like 13 and under, basically, like, attracted to 13 and under. So like, but you could groom, like, minors are still generally too mentally undeveloped, we'll say, to be having like any sexual conversation or anything. So they're more susceptible to grooming, is the point that I'm making.
pattern to repeat itself. I want to be better. Nothing I do will ever make this right, but I want to make sure it never happens again.
This is wildly irresponsible, it's an optics nightmare, and I don't know why she did this, especially when she made the promise that she wouldn't do this again. However, when you consider the fact that neither I nor the 14-year-old believe that Synni is a pedo, then you have to ask yourself, how is this grooming? If you're not trying to get with someone, you're not grooming them. If you want to hate on Synni for this, that's fine, but she's not a pedo. Now I know what some of you are going to say. Well, we're not saying she groomed the 14-year-old to get with them, she just groomed the 14-year-old to be more comfortable with conversations like this so she could coom. Don't get me wrong, I thought that at first, but it turns out that the minor was the one being inappropriate first, and she kept on pestering.
It doesn't matter if the minor is the one being inappropriate first. None of that matters. Why are you even using that as a defense?
Synni to talk about stuff like this. It's also important to note that this minor was a fan of Synni's content that includes Scootaloo being in very suggestive outfits, which
how does that make her innocent? You can't use the but they started the chat argument. It doesn't work. It's fucking gross. What?
Synni also made when she was 14. Yes, Synni should not have engaged with this minor. She was the adult in this situation, and what she did was incredibly irresponsible. It also makes her look really sus. But then again, Pyro, when he was an adult, sent a lot of inflation stuff to a minor. He got backlash for what he did, but he did beat the grooming allegations. No, I do not know why she couldn't talk to an adult about this kind of stuff. She brought up that she talked to this 14-year-old because she was as open about not safe for work stuff as she was. And yeah, of course she was. She just started puberty. Yes, Synni knew the minor's age. She asked early in the convo. Sure, she could have forgotten this person's age. I talked to a lot of people myself, and it's hard to keep track of stuff like this.
Like, sure, she could have forgot the age if they weren't having sexual conversation. But like they were having consistent sexual conversations, so why would that's a very relevant detail. So them like, oh, I didn't internalize that. Wouldn't really work here because that seems to be the focal point of their discussion. Seemed to be weird sexual shit.
Sometimes, but she acknowledged that this person was young a few more times. Then
Your Honor, the child was too sexy. I'm so sorry. Like, what is this, the Sneeko defense? What the fuck's happening?
Talk about, not safe for work stuff. But none of the not safe for work topics they went over were nearly half as bad as some people made them out to be.
Lightest punishment is maybe NM is being rude or loud or obnoxious. Boy just making fun of Nightmare, embarrassing him. Maybe he lays or sits on him. NM chair. Yeah, pee much. NM, I'm assuming NM is Nightmare, is kind of just a brat. No, if Nightmare refuses to comply, Boy just manhandles him. Boy had a vice grip. If he grabs them, they wouldn't be able to shake him. He's immovable. He has a vice grip. He is stupid strong. Okay, so I headcanon Boy can clone himself. It lets him visit more children at once? What the fuck? It lets him visit more children? And he can threesome with me? My Boy comic, he uses clones against Nightmare. It is Boy can clone himself. It lets him visit more children at once? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? That's what this fucking says. What the fuck is that, dude? What the fuck? Why would you even include that? It doesn't make your perspective look very good. This character clones themselves to rape more kids? Is that what I'm hearing? Am I fucking misinterpreting this? What the actual fuck? Okay.
Not safe for work stuff, but none of the not safe for work topics they went over were nearly half as bad as some people made them out to be.
That one's pretty bad, brother.
This quote-unquote not safe for work stuff includes lyrics from the song.
What is this? I'm an ass man. What can I say? I love butts. Cannot lie. Don't tell public when I'm depraved. Male ass shoes. We already read this one. Why are they talking so much about butts and shit?
I like big butts and I cannot lie. I heard that in the Shark Tale movie.
I like square butts and I cannot lie.
Hey boss, big butts.
I vape.
But what about the inappropriate pictures like her sitting on a pile of sand corpses while hugging Boy? Is hugging porn now or something? There's also pictures of her in Boy and bunny outfits. Woo, so scandalous. None of this stuff is actually hardcore corn. It's just softcore corn. For those of you who do not
gross. What the fuck are you doing?
Not know what softcore corn is, well, think of it like the sexy jutsu from Naruto. Sure, it's a bit risque, but under the law it would not be considered hardcore corn. This kept on escalating until Synni, she sent the same not safe for work essaying comic to this minor, and requested this minor to draw even more corn of the character of Boy and Nightmare Sans. From the censoring job, it looks like a few parts of this comic would have been she sent the same not safe for work essaying comic to this minor, and requested this minor to draw even more corn of the character of Boy and Nightmare Sans. From the
Okay, so I just want to be clear. You're telling me, the defense runner, that she sent these a message to a minor, and said, hey, can you draw porn for me? Okay, well, this is not getting better at all for this bear person.
censoring job, it looks like a few parts of this comic
In fact, you could have even made the argument of like people, if the continued defense didn't happen, I don't think most people were going to watch the read the full 100 pages document. So like you could have gotten away with not saying anything, and most people wouldn't even know how bad it is. But now it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse every time you show us more stuff. So congratulations for making them look even worse. I appreciate it.
would have been legally classified as hardcore porn. The absolute worst thing Cinny sent was this picture of Boy fingering her avatar. However,
What the fuck? What the hell, dude? What are you doing?
should be hardcore corn. The absolute worst thing Cinny sent was this picture of Boy fingering her avatar. However,
What the fuck? That's not good. What are you talking about?
However, it should be noted that the doc maker was not the one who censored this out. It was actually Cinny herself. When I first saw this, I thought, yeah, Cinny's guilty. But when I found out that she censored the worst parts of this comic herself, it made her look far less guilty than I was
How did it make her look less guilty? What?
previously led to believe. I agree that what Cinny did was wrong. I agree she was being irresponsible. But I do not think that Cinny is a groomer, a pedo, a child predator, or anything like that.
This person is very stupid. All of you guys are very stupid. Dude, this is insane.
Going through both of these massive documents in their entirety, I realized that they're just full of nothing. Oh no, Cinny drew a picture of
You showed me quite a bit, but
her character in a sexy outfit. Oh no, Cinny said I like big butts, I cannot let you a minor. If the doc maker
are you hoping that this it's so funny because like maybe this person has a crush on this Sydney person, but then like this makes Sydney look worse, so you're kind of hurting them.
had to stretch so many times to make such bad points to paint Sunny as a predator, then it stands to reason that it's not a good doc. They
Good points? What the fuck?
clearly didn't know what they were talking about, and they were just grabbing any piece of evidence they could to paint Cinny as a groomer. The fact that Jack actually looked at this doc and came to the conclusion that Cinny was a groomer is absolutely insane. After that happened, I believe that Jack convinced Cinny that she actually groomed someone. Then Cinny, feeling bad about it without actually looking at the document, admitted to the allegations. And nothing Cinny did was as bad as what Pyro did. So please tell me why he's getting a free pass.
No, actually what they did was much worse than what Pyro did, just to be clear, but okay.
And she's not. Okay, yes, most of the evidence we've seen from Pyro's video shows that he didn't actually know the age of the 15-year-old. Cinny, on the other hand, did, which makes her more guilty than Pyro. But the stuff she sent Enno wasn't as bad as what Pyro sent to Ivory. Like, it's not
You just said that they sent a picture of them characters fingering each other. What?
even close. Also, Pyro did continue talking to the minor when they turned 16. Now, 16 is the legal age of consent in the UK, so it's really up to you to decide which one was worse.
It's also a 6-year age gap in this instance instead of a 4-year.
I'm really sorry, but
I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
Did Cinny really say she was going to kill Jack? Well, yes, but there's some much-needed context that you are missing. First of all, it's sad that people are flipping out over this and taking it so seriously. People have said they're going to kill me on Xbox Live lots of times, and I've done the same. Me and my roommate jokingly say we are going to kill one another all the time. I could tell super early on that the screenshots Jack posted to its Twitter were taken out of context instantly. Here's the context for the first screenshot.
Okay, so this is at the time when Jack is recording the video, right? What the hell? I love Jack so much. What happened? Right now I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. He's framing me as a sex saying I assaulted him by touching his ass and boobs, but I would always ask if it was okay that I did that. And he always said yes. There were times when I poked him in places he didn't like, but I didn't realize it bothered him that much. I thought it was just playful. I don't know.
Oh no, she said she would kill Jack because it was accusing her of SA-ing because it rescinded its consent, which is something you can't do. Kind of seems weird that Jack rescinded his consent at the absolute perfect time. Sorry, but if you give me or anyone consent, you can't just take it away months later. You can give your consent when something is happening or about to happen, but not months after the fact.
Thanks, I understand. We understand that, but that's far from the biggest issue here. But okay.
Can't believe I have to explain this, but apparently I did. Also, me and my roommate touch one another's asses all the time. It's a form of bonding with guys. If Professor Dreadlock decided to take away his consent months after the fact and painted me as a groomer, I would put him 6 feet under. Also before this, Cinny was going over the stuff of her roommate painting her as a groomer. The second screenshot, the one about the gun, was sent after Jack moved out of the house.
Jack made a Twitter thread saying he has more info on me, is making a second video on me. He said he was talking to my friends and coworkers all day and is now staying with my coworkers, I think, but I don't know which ones. He said he's stealing my friends, and he said, live and suffer, Pedo Bear 03. After I saw Jack's Twitter thread, I had to leave work early. I bought a knife, pepper spray, and a crowbar to protect myself. I'm thinking about buying a gun, too. I screamed at Izzy over the phone when she was trying to comfort me, but I was convinced someone was in my apartment, and they were going to kill me as soon as I entered the place. I parked in a neighborhood 30 minutes away from where I live, and Izzy went to my apartment to check all the rooms with Jade. I thought someone was there and would kill her, thinking she was me, and I was so scared to try calling her again. Everything was cleared, though. I came home and checked all my rooms for myself, my pepper spray in hand. I broke down crying, which I saw stupid. Stupid is the name of the cat, and I slept in my room. I do not blame Cinny for wanting to buy a gun to defend herself when all the internet is, like, wanting her dead and, like, she's being actively doxxed and people are advocating to kill her.
This was during a time Cinny was getting death threats and also dealing with people calling her boss, showing that they know where she works, therefore they probably know where she lives. She just brought up that she was getting a gun to defend herself and that's it. Sorry, but how did you guys fall for this? The entire internet wanted someone dead and they wanted to defend themselves, but somehow this negatively affects a person who got over $10,000? Let me just make this clear. Jack gets 10K, Cinny gets death threats. She wants to get a gun to defend herself, and then Jack somehow twisted this into a death threat? What? By the way, I just realized this. Jack thought Cinny was a threat to children, so why didn't they call the cops? If I thought Dread was a threat to kids, you can bet your shiny metal ass I would call 911. I guess asking for money was more important than protecting children.
I am a registered sex offender. I stuck my dick into a blender.
Who cares about Jack? Jack is a fucking loser. Like, obviously, I think we all know this at this point. Jack's a fucking loser that was using the situation to be weird. It doesn't mean that this other person is not a fucking creep. They obviously are. So...
Much like Hopeless Peaches, Cinny rushed her response to everything, and it was not a good response at all. It did change a few minds, but for the most part, it increased the backlash she got. This response would have worked.
Yeah, because she went from, oh yeah, I did do that, to like, oh, actually, you know what, I didn't do it, and I really wasn't that big of a deal. That's why people got upset. It wasn't proportionate.
If she made it without apologizing beforehand, and before Jack made its video. But at this point, the mob is too riled up to listen to her. She needed to treat this like how Pyro treated his video, or how Peaches handled her second video. But she made it as if it was just another video, and that's not a good thing. When you hear the call with me and her, you will see that she did not take my advice on how to go about this. She thought she didn't have to go over the dog because other people didn't go over it. But the thing is, this is the internet, not a court of law. On the internet, it's guilty until proven innocent. Also, monetizing the video and uploading it at 5 AM was not a smart move. That being said, the amount of people commenting that they will not watch the video is dumb. If you are too scared to watch it, then you don't fully believe in what you are saying.
Talk about me and the victims. My thing and the victims.
One thing that really shocked me about this whole drama is the amount of people treating this like it's Cinny versus Jack, but they seem to forget about Eno. I think they are left out.
They were treating that it was those two versus each other. What are you talking about? They're both weirdos. What the fuck?
Because they aren't a public figure, so most people just don't care about them. Let's be honest here, Jack made the video about itself, not the minor. The minor got nothing, and Jack got over $10,000. People are saying poor Jack a lot more than poor Eno. Guys, Jack is a person with autism and BPD, and they grew up getting bashed by the entire internet, which more than likely had an effect on its development. Oh, and also they go by it pronouns, which is not a normal thing, even by trans standards. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that it's best not to take it at its word and give it over.
So I guess this is kind of transphobic, no? Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't know. That seems like an interesting take there. This is extraordinarily dismissive of their existence, but YOLO, I guess.
$10,000 in 3 days. By the way, I'm going off topic for this, but if anyone is going to try to make the allegation that I'm simping for Cinny, I'm not the one giving people $10,000. Giving money to people is closer to simp behavior than not giving them any money at all. I recall people saying poor creep show art during the Peaches drama. That drama involved a woman with black and orange hair getting thousands of dollars for going after a blonde girl for things that were mostly false, but a few things were true. But the things that were true were blown way out of proportion. And now the same thing is happening again, almost the exact same way. Talk about deja vu. I can't believe I'm having to do the same thing I did a few years ago. One of the people I defended Peaches from was Camilla, someone who was obsessed with Undertale, and Cinny is also obsessed with Undertale. Am I in a time loop? After looking over everything in more depth than 99% of people talking about this, I can safely say that this drama was blown up to a level that it had no business getting to. I love how people
I think he is a simp. We learned that later. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Try to debunk me on Twitter by sending me the doc they didn't read. I think the irony was lost on them. The commentary community's coverage of this entire drama was absolutely gross. You guys.
Why was it gross? I'm assuming they just said, hey, look, she admitted it. So she must have done it. What a hot take on that, huh?
Really need to stop spreading what is currently the popular opinion without looking into things deeper. Face the facts, Cinny already quote-unquote admitted to it. You weren't making videos on her to spread the—
Yeah, she admitted it. That's a fact. So what other nuance do you want people to have?
Word around, you were just doing it to get a quick buck. You weren't concerned about the safety of minors, you were concerned about getting clout. You guys should have learned your lesson from the Peaches drama, the Spoctor drama, the Dream and John Swan drama, the Pyrocynical drama, and more. But you people keep making the same mistake of jumping on a bandwagon too fast over and over again. I do believe Cinny did bad things. She needed to be called out for them, but she did not groom anyone, and she's not a pedo. If you guys seriously believe that Cinny sent a minor then you would also be at fault for linking the doc with a quote-unquote on yourself. If you did not—
But didn't she You showed us that she asked a kid to make porn for her, to draw porn for her. I don't understand.
Age restrict your video, then so many minors had access to the quote-unquote porn. Some of you may say that what she did was wrong enough for you to never watch her again. If that is how you feel, then that's okay. But don't make up stuff like, she sent nudes to a minor, she's a pedo, or she groomed someone, because none of that is true. I've checked multiple different definitions for grooming. What Cine did doesn't fit any of them. Sure, what she did is what a lot of groomers do when they start grooming, but they tend to escalate things, and she didn't escalate things for 6 months.
Sure, the things that she did was a grooming tactics, but that doesn't count. That's a lot. That's not good.
Or, who knows, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't actually know what grooming is. I know the ArtCC is more than likely going to try to use this video against me. They are going to paint me as someone who is okay with degenerate stuff being shown to kids, or that I'm defending a group.
Yeah, kinda feels that way, bud.
Both things that aren't true, as I've proven in this video. I said what Cine did wasn't okay, and I showed that she
I said it wasn't okay, and then you downplayed it, so it kind of like dog whistles a little bit that maybe you do think it's okay.
Groomer. What Cine did was wrong. What she did was irresponsible. However, whatever punishment you think she deserves, I believe she already got it. Now, if you are one of the people who made a video on Cine, and you disagree with things I'm saying in this video, then let's have a debate. It just seems a little strange to me to make a video on someone without reaching out to them. Oh wait, you guys already did that. I, along with Kumo, were the only two who reached out. I know a lot of people won't watch this video, so if you are going to disagree with me, please put hashtag pineapple soda in your comment. All one word, by the way. If you don't, then I know you were too scared to have your opinion challenged. I've made videos on predators before, and I've uploaded more than one video bashing cuties. I've won almost every single drama I've been in, even when I was...
He bashed cuties, and he's gone after he said predators are bad before. It sounds like a class act. Oh my god.
On the losing side. I'm sure people are going to say I'm reviving the drama, or that I'm doing this for money or something. But even if that is true, it doesn't debunk anything I'm saying. People will more than likely bring up the Toby drama, but last time I checked, every single video covering my Toby video is gone. Every last one of them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared of the backlash I'll get from uploading this video. Both my roommate and my girlfriend try to talk me out of uploading it. They think I'm right, but they don't want to see me fight for so long and so hard like I did in the Peaches drama. By the way, Peaches is someone that became a bad person after everything I did for them, so I don't know if Cine will end up the same way or not. But I have to do what I think is right. Who knows, maybe I'm the one in the wrong, but I still feel like I have to do this. A lot of people could have done this video better than me, and hopefully they will, now that I've shown them the ropes. But if I am in the right, the next time something like this happens, can you guys please not say, "Ja, you were right about every other drama, but this time you're wrong," before my video even comes out. That being said, I am not confident that this video will go over well once I upload it. The good news is I don't have to worry about people like Prison Mate Luke coming in and making things worse, but I also can't get help from people like Lio, Peaches, and Doodletones. The last two left YouTube and Lio's reputation is in the dirt, but I do believe they would have been more skeptical about this drama than most people. In many ways, this is like all the big dramas that have ever happened in the commentary community all at once. Just like Spoctor, Cine admitted to it. Just like Peaches, she made a bad first response. And just like Pyro, people painted her as a groomer when she wasn't one. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, this drama has now gotten so big that people outside the ArtCC are talking about it. And a lot of non-ArtCC people don't think that she's a groomer. Who knows, maybe I'm the one in the wrong. But after seeing what happened in the Spoctor, the Peaches, and the Pyro dramas, I just think we should be at least a little bit more skeptical. Please do not-
But she admitted it, so what's the... It's like the problem is, guys, we should be skeptical. I agree. But she admitted to doing it. And then you made it worse. I mean, you showed far worse than I've ever seen so far out of this whole thing.
I'll take my word for this. Do your own research and look into these documents a little bit more carefully. And once again, I want to make this clear. Cine is being irresponsible, but in my book, she's not a groomer. Anyways, let's get into the edited down version of the interview I had with Cine. Hello, can you hear me?
Why was that added into this video? That seems a little inappropriate, no?
Hi, yeah.
Okay, so first thing I want to ask you, how are you feeling right now?
Kinda dead inside.
That sounds about right. You seem like you've been through quite a bit of a roller coaster lately.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's my first question, if you don't mind if I begin. Do you mind if I begin?
Am I being
this is a significant amount of this video is the conversation, huh?
recorded?
Actually, sure, I'll ask that. Would you be okay if I record you?
I guess it should be fine.
Okay, so for my first question is, did you actually, like, look at the docs at all?
The first one, yes. The second one, I didn't get a chance to. It was made, so that Jack could upload his video, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, okay,
so... I'm pretty sure it came out the same day as me making my... Like, the one that, Enno made, I'm pretty sure, was made on the exact same day that I recorded my apology video.
And Enno is the 14-year-old, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my first question. I looked at the first doc.
That's like your third question. What are you talking about?
I desperately looked all over the first doc. I don't see any grooming going...
Stupid.
Oh, yeah, like, Cine had her avatar in sexual poses, and I was like, yeah, have you not seen...
Bro, you just showed us that, like, she asked a fucking kid to draw porn for her. What are you talking about?
Or any PG-13 anime? Like,
no, I think a lot of that document was just complete horseshit, honestly. There were, of course, like, some things that I do think were problems, like the actual issues, but a lot of it was just bullshit.
Yeah, like I was looking at that, and I was like, this is so much nothing. Like, okay, sure, there's some stuff in here, but like 90% of it was just nothing. Like you saying, oh, my character, this fan art someone made for me is sexy. It's like, oh no, that she said sexy. I heard the word sexy in a fucking Shrek movie when I was a kid. Like, oh no.
Yeah, but Shrek's not having one-on-one conversations with you as the kid. They're just using the word sexy. It's a little bit different than them saying it to a kid that they have supposedly asked to draw porn for them.
Question one, let's just go in the order I asked you them. Did you take your
You asked like 4 questions, right? What do you keep saying first question?
apology down, and if so, why?
I privated it because I'm making a video kind of going over why I don't believe.
Oh, I guess I kind of doubt that they're actually going to release another video.
I'm actually a groomer.
Oh wow!
Or unless this is before. Oh, maybe this is before that video.
Why don't you think why don't you think you're a groomer? It's because there's legitimately no evidence of you grooming. Is that why you think that?
I will be completely honest. I didn't even consider it to be grooming until Jack told me it was grooming.
Oh my fucking god! Of course you did. Of course you did. Because like, here's the thing. I looked through both docs. Okay, were you talking appropriately? Yes. Were you grooming? No. So let me go off topic. Cinny, are you? Can I call you Cinny? Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, it's Cinny.
Okay, I might accidentally call you Sunny by accident, but I'll try to call you Cinny. So,
this is actually so uncomfortable. What the fuck is happening?
Cinny, like, let me ask you something. Are you, you're straight, right?
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
Now, I'm straight, too. No, sorry. Eno is a female, correct? I got the names mixed up.
Eno is AFAB, yeah.
AFAB, okay. So, yeah, have you ever dated a woman?
When I was 14.
Of course you did.
I mean, like, this isn't an argument for anybody because most people would consider pedophilia not a sexuality because it's not. So and this isn't quite pedophilia, but it certainly borders it heavily. So then in this case, you're not a pedophile. Like, you could be having sexual conversation with a minor without it. Like, your sexuality doesn't matter. That's the point that I'm making here. So.
And I ended up breaking up with my girlfriend when I was 16 because I realized I didn't love her like that, because I realized I don't like women like that. You
were just a bit bi-curious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well done.
Well, once I kissed an Italian guy, but that's not important right now.
You think he's like funny? I don't understand the contribution.
Way back when, I like became friends with someone named Pee-wee. I guess now they go by Bug Spray. I just keep calling them Pee-wee because that's like ingrained in my brain. That's just who they are to me. I don't know, man. Like we kind of just like, I didn't realize that we only talked for a week before it got weird, but we were just like both being sexual like toward each other, and then like they offered to help me move out by moving in with me, and I wanted very badly to leave my parents' place, so we went through like a lot of planning. And then one day they just ghosted me, and I had to work out other arrangements in order to move out.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple days after they ghosted me, they made like a public YouTube video, exposing me, and like they leaked like a shit ton of the art I sent them. Which,
yeah, and someone made a video defending you, and that video got like 300,000 views or some shit, right?
I don't know how many views it got, but I'm assuming you're talking about the video that Soph the Neko made.
I think it was Soph the Neko. But more importantly, so I think you're missing the point of the question. The person who made the first doc, like the old doc about you with the 17-year-old, are they the same person who's making the new doc now?
I don't think so. Also, what was there one that came out before addressing Synnibear 3, or are you just talking about that one?
I heard that the same person, I just heard this recently, like today, someone told me that, oh, the same person who is calling Synnibear out in their doc was the same person who was getting onto their case like a year ago when they were 19 and talking with a 17-year-old, and I wanted to run that by you to see if you knew anything.
I don't think so, no. The person who made the Addressing Synnibear 3 document was like a really old, like, ex-friend. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to explain, like how much they just don't exist in my brain.
Okay. Well, is Eno friends with the person who made the first doc?
I'm not aware of them even, like, knowing of each other's existence. I mean, obviously, I think... I'm gonna call him Bunny. I'm pretty sure Bunny, like, probably knows about Eno, but I don't think Eno knows who Bunny is. Bunny is the person who made the doc.
Okay. Yeah, and at least from what I can tell from the messages, there was no indication from on my end that you were trying to get with a 14-year-old romantically.
No.
Yeah. With the way people are talking about this, they're making you seem like the next ADP, the next Cosmodor, or whoever the fuck. Like, And this is like the important question I want to ask you. What like pushed you in to like saying like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I groomed a minor. I'm leaving my channel that I've worked so many years on because of yeah. So what was the thought process there?
I had like a thing in my head where I was just like, well, this is what like seems like the best option, just to keep everyone happy and safe, I guess. It was mostly me trying to earn back Jack's trust by being open and honest with the people, like with my own audience.
But you weren't honest with them. You said you groomed someone, and I don't...
I thought I did.
Okay, here's the thing, and here's was the first big red flag to me. At first, I thought this was pretty cut and dry. You got accused, docs were made, there's so much evidence in the doc, they're so long, you must have done it because you admitted to it. So I was working on my video, and then I thought, I just had that feeling, the same feeling I got when the Peaches drama started, the same feeling I got when the Stockton drama started. It's that feeling I get in the back of my neck that just tells me something's not right here. And I thought about it, I was like, Cosmodor did not admit to grooming until it was too late. Neither EDP to this day has not admitted.
I love how the big part of this guy, his whole defense of this person is like, yeah, most people who groom people don't admit that they groomed somebody. It's like, wow, what a great detective work, bud.
Groomers don't fucking admit to it. So I thought to myself, why would she admit to it? I can't even think of a single groomer who just flat out said, yep, I did it. And then I started thinking, maybe I should reach out to you and have a chat with you. So what you did was inappropriate. You shouldn't have done that, but I don't think you're Cosmodor level. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're working on a response to everything. Is that right?
I'm trying.
Okay. Well, it's going to be an uphill battle. Made things really bad for yourself by making that apology.
I realize that.
Yep. And here's the thing: as much backlash.
You're not. This isn't helping you, bud. You can't be saying like, oh, you're kind of an idiot for that. She's not vibing on that, brother.
You're getting right now.
You got to be better.
Stalkers and Peaches was surprisingly worse, so I think you have a chance of getting out of this.
Are you kidding me? Instantaneous?
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit.
So, what's the plan with you and Jack?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I can see what he posts on Twitter. I can tell he's not my friend.
I would say the same. I don't think that's what friends say about one another.
God, he jumped so fucking far. He's calling me a pedophile.
I haven't seen that, but I've seen other stuff.
I saw, like, I was at work, goddammit, and I saw him say some shit like, live and suffer, pedo bear. I think it's so jarring because he left before I even came home from work. Like, I came home from work and he was just gone. And then sorry, what?
This guy's striking score. He's like striking out every single time. She does not like the mocking. That's what this comes off as, bud. She's not gonna fuck you, man. She's not gonna do it. Come on.
It's funny to hear a woman say that for once.
I came home from work and he was gone, and then the next morning, the police came.
Why are you laughing at them? This is so weird. He's so awkward. Like, his actual video was already super awkward, but this is just 10,000 times more fucking weird and awkward. It's so uncomfortable.
Came to my apartment, from work and he was gone, and then the next morning, the police came to my apartment.
Oh no!
For a wellness check, not for.
Wow, imagine talking to somebody like, yeah, you know, and I went to the diner. Wow, that's incredible! Like, that's the energy that's happening here. Is that, sorry for that, is that she's having like a regular conversation, which, by the way, she's still a fucking weirdo. And then he's having such exaggerated responses. Like, it's incredible, bro.
For anything bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. Sorry, maybe it's a little rude for me.
I woke up to like the police at my door, and they were just like, "Hey, heard something was going on with you. Your friend called us here," and I was like, "Oh." And then I looked at my phone and I saw that like my real life friend tried calling me multiple times, and Jack tried calling me multiple times.
Oh, crazy.
And I texted like both of them, and my real life friend didn't know that the police were coming, so I figured they didn't call them, so it had to be Jack. I told Jack like, "Oh, the police came by," and he was like, "Yeah, we thought you were dead, lol." Like he said LOL at the end of his message, and then he never texted me ever again. And I was like, "Oh, this is good, because this means he's upset with me, but he still cares about me. That's good. He wants to make sure I'm alive." And then like I went to work, and in the middle of my shift, I saw that he made like a big like Twitter thread, basically mocking me. Like he bragged about stealing my friends from me, and
wow.
He said like, you know, live and suffer, pedo bear. And then he like posted a picture of like a hat that he left on my pillow when he left. Like it was a hat that said groom on it.
Actually, that's something I've been meaning to ask you. So like, they accused you of touching them inappropriately.
Yeah, fuck him for even like insinuating that.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get real here. Me and Professor Dreadlock.
I'm gonna get real here.
And we're romantic with each other. We slap each other on the ass every now and then. We spook each other. We don't poke each other in the crotch, but we do pretty much everything else. And like when I heard that, I was just like, you know, I know Jack goes by he, him, but like their sex is they're an AFAB, and
yeah, he's AFAB.
Yeah, so two women living with each other, they're gonna. I don't know what it's like with two women living with each other, but I can tell you as.
I mean, I don't believe that this Jack person was like sexually assaulted at all because they literally said they consented to everything, but that's your main point. It sounds like you're putting that point aside and you're like, yeah, two girls living together just groping each other appropriately. Who cares? It's just girls being girls. Like, that's what I'm getting. That's not appropriate. Just to be clear, hot take, I guess.
It's a guy who lives with another guy. We sometimes touch each other a bit inappropriately.
I think it should have been like a red flag to literally everyone when Jack showed like me screaming at him like through text, saying, "I always asked you if it was okay, and you said yes," and like no one mentioned that or like said anything about that.
Well, you need to understand this corner of the internet. They're fucking idiots. They will believe what they're told until they're shown the opposite. I mean, come on, you've seen this with the
Damn. I think that the worst thing that's happening to the Cinebear person is that this is basically the only friend that this person has left, so they have to be like, yeah, even though they're fucking weirdo. So.
Drama. You've seen this with the Peaches drama. Prismate Luke literally put up screenshots that contradicted what he said, and people went, "Yep, that seems legit to me."
I'm a little thrown off that like the commentators aren't like looking at that.
Actually, that's not.
You admitted you did it wrong. So you what?
Meaning to ask you, aside from me, has anybody reached out to you?
Two YouTubers contacted me and like asked me questions, but no one else.
Not everybody has to involve themselves like very deeply into your shit. Like, people don't have to like be like, oh, I don't reach out to people just anymore. Like, it's not, I don't want to be involved in people's drama. I like to commentate on it. Not everybody wants to be like explicitly involved in deeply in your bullshit. So
yeah, it was
okay, so I'm literally the first person who was like, hey, I don't think you're as bad as what
you're the
everybody
second
else is saying.
person.
The
first person was Kumo.
Of course it's Kumo. Like, I have my own issues with the guy, but like, it sounds like sometimes he could be skeptical in the right areas, and you know what, I think it was skeptical in the right area, because like, I've heard rumors that you two were collabing together, but I watched his video, and I was like, I don't...
Collabing is a stretch, but like, he's trying to help me, like, make my video as good as it
So it sounds like somebody else messaged this person and said, you didn't really do anything wrong, blah, 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 and they're like, you know what, I didn't. Let me make a video about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So...
like, not a collab, just like, he's looking over my stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so ready to tear into you, and this was the day I was going...
I don't think that this person was ready to tear into her at all. But okay.
Going to upload it unlisted for my Patreon supporters, and it was going to go live tomorrow. But then I decided to fact check one more time, just make sure everything was correct, and I've had this feeling for a while. Like,
so this doesn't make any sense to me. This the progress of his investigation makes no sense. So you looked through everything, and then you're like, you know, I'm going to fact check one more time, and then all of a sudden it didn't make sense. That story doesn't make sense to me, and because like if you looked through it the first time, you would have found all this information. So I don't understand why you would have had to look through it again to find more information. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I don't think that he ever doubted her for whatever reason, whether it's because he's like simming from her from the start and looking for an excuse, or because he doesn't actually think it's some kind of grooming, like whatever. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because like it just sounds like he's proposing a false story intentionally to try to garner some kind of credibility. Like, you know what, I was originally against you like everybody else, but then I actually looked into it. You know, trying to be like, if you just looked into it, guys, you would also have a difference in opinion because, you know, I looked into it and now I have a difference in opinion. That's what it kind of just comes off as. So
something isn't right, and after looking at everything, I realized what you did was bad, very bad. If you better thank your vagina. If you had a pee-pee, you would be. Oh man, it would not be good for you if you had a pee-pee.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh man.
Yeah, but people are more.
He wants to fucking tear into that pussy. No, I think he wants to fucking cry into that pussy and come instantly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Giving when women do this. You had a pee-pee.
Oh man.
Yeah, but people are more forgiving when women do this. But yeah, like, I don't think you're a groomer. I think your friend who you lived with for years convinced you that you were a horrible person. You started thinking you were a horrible person, and you cracked underneath the pressure and decided to say something in a video that made you look really, really, really bad. And I'm guessing you didn't fully grasp what the word groomer meant, right?
I think anyone who was watching my videos might be able to discern that, because
if you could be so lucky. Do you know how dumb these people are?
In my so Jack,
I mean, again, it may not have been grooming, but you were apparently asking a minor, a kid, to draw porn for you. It's weird, man. What the fuck?
I think Jack doesn't understand what grooming is, and I've been getting a lot of my information from him.
Probably. You still seem to engage in extraordinarily inappropriate to a point where you probably should not have a platform. Like,
because one of the things that I know I've said that was incorrect was like, so Jack keeps saying that he was groomed by Kitty Dog when he was 12 and Kitty Dog was 14, and I believed him.
Okay, that's...
It's probably not grooming, but okay. Them being wrong about about the label grooming doesn't make you a good person. Like, just...
That's not... I don't
want to downplay his experience in like that he was traumatized. I just, now that
I frankly don't care if any of you are traumatized. All of these people are so fucking annoying.
Like going to therapy and shit. I don't think it was grooming actually. That doesn't sound fucking right. God. And I feel fucking stupid for like making a video and defending that point.
Okay, you know how the only interaction we had ever was when I commented on your Spocker video?
Yeah.
Okay. In that video, you said you were moving in with Birdie, and like when I heard you bring that up, I was like, haha, well, this is going to be entertaining in a year.
Oh.
So that's exactly what I thought, because I was like, oh, two artsy people underneath the same roof. What could possibly go wrong?
Fuck.
Yeah, sorry I didn't warn you sooner. Honestly, I thought you would throw Jack underneath the bus first. Like, honestly, I thought it would happen the reverse way.
No. Oh, God. This entire situation just sucks.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I've been in your shoes. Peach has been in your shoes. Spocker has been in your shoes. The only thing I'm going to tell you is this: once you're out of this situation, don't fuck up again. Like, don't fuck up like Spocker and Peaches did. Like, here's the thing: when it comes to the Spocker situation, the dude got canceled for being a pussy. Like, if I was in that same situation as him, I would have been like, oh yeah, I stumbled upon it. Looked through all the multiple folders I had on it, saw the 13-year-old nudes, freaked out, ripped it out, stomped on it.
What?
And flushed it down my toilet. I'm not a predator. I just held onto those nudes and deep within folders and...
What? I don't know who this other person is. Wait, so this other person had nudes of kids in their what? And what? What? I'm so confused. That's not good. What's happening? Why would you even defend that?
That's what happened to me. Oh well, guess I'll keep uploading like I normally did, but instead he was like, oh no, I'm gonna run away and make people think I'm a predator, like fucking idiot.
I don't understand how you can come up with a reasonable excuse of why you had porn, 13-year-old porn in. Okay.
I remember people like getting really upset with me when I tried giving like Spocker the benefit of the doubt in my video, where I was just like, you know, maybe he just forgot about it, and then people were like calling me a dick writer.
Well, you are that. Let's be honest here. I've seen how much you coom.
Rude, but anyway.
Come on, you're a coomer. You're like a super coomer. Like I've seen some of the stuff you've drawn.
Don't remind me of what everyone's seen. Fuck. All right.
But I'm gonna give you some advice, okay?
No.
You don't want any advice?
Okay, fine.
Okay, number one, you're going to have to take the L on the way you were talking to the 14-year-old, but you have to make it clear.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah, you're going to have to do that. There's no, like, listen, I had a 14-year-old.
I think he needs news from when he was 13. Oh, okay. I guess that's different then. All right, it's not exactly clear, but okay.
Hey, I want to make you. I'm a big fan of you, and I want to make you happy. And I was like, no, I know where this is going. This is a fucking honeypot situation. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
In my video, I
video, right?
I think so.
Okay, when I said...
This guy really seems to be proud of his fucking Peaches video.
Adults talking appropriately around minors all the time. People really took that the wrong way, but like, I defended myself on my second channel in my Vincent Skullman video. I was like, my dad showed me RoboCop when I was a kid, and that movie had boobies in it. Like, inappropriate things can happen. The kids are saying inappropriate stuff to each other all the time. It's not, like, you're not grooming...
There's a difference between acknowledging something like that versus using it as an excuse for bad behavior, which sounds more like you do, so I think that's the problem here.
A kid because you say pee-pee by accident around them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with this stuff, and you're not gonna get all your fans back, people are gonna hate on you, but that is better than people thinking that you're the next Cosmodor. I had to change my Spocker thumbnail, like the one where you said, coming up to get a cupcake, because I was like, oh, people might take this the wrong way, and I don't like Spocker, but I don't think he's a groomer or anything like that, so that's why I had to change the thumbnail. And I understand you've heard nothing but bad things about me. I'm pretty sure you think I'm a racist pedo yourself. At least one of those things.
I know you're not looked at in the best light, but I don't actually have any labels to attach to you.
Oh, it's interesting. It's just interesting that when the person that's like that's there the most to try to defend you is somebody who apparently is a pariah in their own fucking bizarre-ass community.
Come on. Not even the racist one.
I'm too stupid. I don't.
Yeah, I was mostly thrown for a loop when you said you were coming back from work. I'm not gonna lie, I thought you did YouTube full time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, not,
No, no.
Like, okay, not YouTube full time. But the thing is, I thought you did internet stuff full time because like commissions and all that. Because like I looked at your art style, I was like, this girl draws porn for a living.
All the smaller like things that are being like said about me, I plan on covering in like a second video. Like for example, the scamming thing, and also like I'm being called racist because I said something racist.
Come on, sister. You're talking to the racism king over here.
Wow.
The king of racism, but. I need to like,
Solid
talk about that in a separate
bud.
video, because the first video, the one I'm making right now, is mostly just talking about why I don't think I'm a groomer and why Jack is mean. He's mean. He's mean. Everyone look at Jack right now. All right,
yeah.
Now there's like a bunch of fucking issues
so
I have with
actually-
Jack after seeing all this.
Actually, that reminds me. Does Jack have an IRL job?
No,
Do they receive Social Security?
Awesome.
not anymore.
Yeah, I heard a story with that. Like, I will admit, I did. When I was questioning this, I did watch Kumo's video because I realized, okay, I need to hear someone defending this because, like, sometimes you just need one person to say the emperor has no clothes for you to actually see that he's naked. Yeah, when I saw his video, not a great video. He kind of rambles a lot. It took forever to actually start. He also has another video that is way shorter. I prefer his second one, but even then the second one is so long. But like, I looked at the video and I was like, this dude doesn't know what he's doing, but like, he's telling the truth. You're not a groomer. You're a lot of things. You're inappropriate with minors. You shouldn't send the stuff you sent. You've had multiple warnings about this. You need to be careful. And you, like, here's the thing. This happens again. It's going to be really bad. So like, you need to double, triple.
Already seems kind of bad, but she knows he's an awful person and just has no one else to talk to. He's actually making feel bad for her. But not for the reason he thinks. Yeah, I feel bad for her because he's fucking weird. That's why I feel bad.
Double check what you're doing, who you're talking to. You need to keep the ages in mind. And if you're gonna start your Discord up again, make it 18+.
Yeah, that's also part of my conclusion.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like I'm gonna probably have like an age verification thing going on. I don't know how exactly I plan on implementing that yet because I don't want.
Maybe you just don't have a Discord
So, like-
anymore because you don't know how to act appropriately with a Discord.
My first idea was to have people like give me their driver's license, but that seems like a bad idea. That seems
just have them
a
click
very
on
easy way to dox yourself.
Just have them click on the I promise I'm 18 button. Like
But
that's.
then people are gonna be like, that's not good enough.
Tell them to make videos on Pornhub instead of you. Then like what I find the funniest thing about this entire drama is like the doc that was like, oh, her character did a sexy pose, and then Jack links it beneath his video, and it ends with the fucking your two
The
characters.
fucking panty and stalking me.
Yeah, like I know what panty and stalking is, and I know that's not a show I would be like sending to any minor I've spoken to. Let's just say that. And when I saw that, I was just like, I was confused about this. Like people saying, oh, Cine Bear 03, she drew a character in sexy poses. It's porn. Here, let me link it down beneath my video without age restricting it.
I just think it's fucking wild that like in Jack's video he's like, I'm not a freak, unlike Cinny. Anyway, here's my animation where Cinny takes off her underwear and like strips on a pole. Like
Yeah, you're all fucking freaks. I Google robot face and it's exactly how I expect. Oh, his actual face? No. What is it?
the irony is palpable. I can't get over that. That's such a like. Please understand where I'm coming from. I'm so pissed off.
I understand where you're coming from.
August, send it
I've
in
been
the
in your
Discord.
shoes multiple times.
Called me a freak,
Sister.
and then you animated my ass.
Jack is the girl-sounding person in the beginning of the video.
Yeah, you're both goomers as far as I'm aware. And I'm so glad to finally sit down and talk to you. I was nervous that you wouldn't have gotten back to me because I've gone back and forth on my videos so much. I've been... I made it really quickly and then realized, oh, I need to find the evidence, and then I had to change this, I had to change that, I had to change this, and I had to change that. And once I finally had a video all lined up so I could like look through it and fact check it, I was like, oh my god, like I'm so low energy because like I don't really believe in what I'm saying. And then I realized, what am I fucking doing? I should reach out to you to hear your side of the story. And what gave me the courage to do this was I saw that you took or privated your apology video, and that made me think, maybe she's real or privated your apology video, and that made me think.
Let's see what we got here. Sister? Where'd you send it under the general chat? Oh, okay. Interesting looking guy. There he is. I hate to make fun of people, but he does not look like a robot. Okay.
Maybe she's realizing, hey, I'm not a fucking groomer, just a coomer.
It sucks because I was crying to Jack about
I'm not a groomer, just a coomer. I think, did Colleen Ballinger say that?
it, and Jack like, understood how much it upset me that in particular was leaked, and now he just doesn't give a shit.
Well, that's why I hate ArtCC people. They're insanely backstabby, like insanely so. Like you can't be friends with them.
I'm assuming
okay.
there's probably like a bit of just the Fruitcake Club thing in.
Oh, that's gonna be it's gonna be a
Fruitcake Club. What?
Complete video.
Off topic. I got us off topic.
Okay, so I suggest you make your video. But here's the thing: everybody hates you already. They can't hate you any more than they do. In fact, so don't rush it. In fact, don't take too much time on it, but don't rush yourself. It's better.
It's pretty much done.
Okay, but here's the thing. When you upload it, be very careful with the title, the description, and the thumbnail. Don't make something that will make people upset. People are upset.
Yeah,
but
no, this video in particular, I don't want to be provocative like at all. I just want to make sure everyone understands what I'm saying.
Okay. You're going to still get a little backlash for it, but it won't be.
I figure.
It won't be. I don't know, 13,000 dislikes like you got on your apology.
That one didn't age quite so well.
I hope not. I hope I'm
You really rewatched this whole conversation there, bud, and then implemented that in there? That's wild.
My assumption as to how it will go is like a bunch of people will like click on it and then immediately dislike it and leave some fucking weird comments, and then as it keeps going, it'll get a lot more leveled out. That's what I assume is going to happen.
You're right. And you're going to have some dumb fuck constantly bring up, like 3 years down the road, someone's going to say, hey, aren't you that groomer person? And you're going to have to deal with that. Like, I have people
Throw
doing
them at the wall.
Yeah, I have people doing that to me. Because of because my thumbnail had a cupcake in it. I don't regret that. That was fucking hilarious.
You should see what Robot's chat looks with Sunny. They are horrible first credit. Isn't this the chat that we're watching right now?
Were there any other questions, or did I do good?
I have a few more questions about Birdie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Damn, she's trying to get out of there as soon as possible.
When you moved in with Birdie, like, was there at least a small part of you who thought, maybe this is a bad idea?
Actually, no.
He's really hyper focusing on this. This concept that like he was right about them, like their breakup or whatever.
My entire family was like very against the idea of me moving in with Birdie. In fact, I remember I have a distinct memory of. Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but I was friends with Jack Birdie back in like 2020, and that kind of ruined my life for a bit, and so I stopped being his friend. And then, like, more recently, I got back in contact with him just because he was on my mind for some reason. And he seemed to be a lot more mellowed out. He was a lot less, like, abrasive, and also happened to be homeless. So we just started talking again, and like, I remember when we were, like, making our plans to like, move in together, whenever I would talk about him to my parents, I would call him Jimmy, because I didn't want them to know that I was talking to Jack again. At some point, I, like, opened a separate bank, like a separate savings account just for Jack, and there was, like,
Dude, they had some weird dating thing going on.
$100 in that savings account for Jack. He keeps asking for that money, and I keep thinking, no, I don't want to give you that money.
He made $10,000.
He made $10,000, and also the fucking computer he's using to tweet out all this fucking bullshit is one that I bought for him, and it was $600.
How much percentage of the rent did you pay?
Most of it. In fact, I've been paying full rent for, like, most of our stay here.
Yeah, don't give him the 300.
No
yeah,
kidding.
I'm upset because he has my jewelry. He fucking stole my jewelry, and it was expensive, and I want it back. And also, I want my cat back. I would like my cat, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god, another Kai and Omnia situation. It's always the fucking cat!
He took my cat.
Why? Why is it always the cat? Like,
well, Jack has, like, a really, like, strong connection to the cat, and so he's, like, he's really fucking weird about the cat. But, like, he took the cat, and he took Swerp and left Stupid. So I have one cat, but not the other. And Stupid keeps screaming because she's bored, and she doesn't have her playmate anymore, and she's sad.
Okay, well, get your cat back. Kai got their cat back, so I'm sure you can get your cat back. Like, why do you guys keep getting in this situation? Kai and Omnia move in together, it's a whole mess. You and Jack move in together, it's a whole mess. Anytime, I don't mean to sound bigoted, but anytime you people move in with one another...
What does you people mean? Women, or what?
It doesn't go well. I mean you people as in ArtCC, this corner of the internet kind of people. Autistic gooners.
Okay, but look, like, 2 is a coincidence. We'll wait until the 3rd time happens.
Okay. Ultimately, we have one common enemy, and that's the ArtCC and how they manipulate people. Like, they seem all nice and wholesome, and then they suddenly...
No, yeah, I think the art commentary community...
Yeah, they'll really turn on you once you start talking to kids. What a bunch of pieces of shit, am I right, guys?
He is, like, extremely fucking predatory. Like...
Yeah, that seems to be true, because you're in it.
I thought that even before, like, all this shit happened to me.
Whatever punishment you deserve for what you did, you already got it.
Aye.
But yeah, When do you think your video will be out?
I'm hoping this week. I'm having to, like, I'm hoping this week. I'm having to, like, redo some things. I'm still debating if I want to keep the last part of my video in, because in the last part of my video where I'm just talking about how Jack has been treating me, during all this, I started, like, fucking sobbing, and I'm wondering if that's even, like, worth keeping in.
I would recommend not keeping in the crying, so people don't think you're emotionally manipulating them.
I feel like, God, I feel fucking stupid, but I like, a part of me wants to keep it in because I feel like there's value in being vulnerable, but at the same time, it's just like, man, people will find any reason to be mad at me.
I know, like, what my biggest problem was all the people saying, like, oh, Synny didn't make a real apology. I was like, that's the most genuine apology I've ever heard in my fucking life. What are you fucking saying?
I saw a lot of people being like, oh yeah, Synny's mostly just like Synny's not sorry they groomed a minor, they're sorry that Jack is leaving.
Yeah, I mean, that does seem to be the case, no? Like, you didn't really seem to care that you did it until you were caught. And you're like, no, wait, I'll stop just for you, babe. I'll stop talking to kids for you. I love you so much. I'll stop talking to any kid for you.
Just upset because Jack's going away, and it's like, you're mean, go away.
Okay, to be fair, it did seem that's why you were mostly upset, and I understand it.
To be honest, it was mostly why I was upset, because just...
Yeah, let's be honest here.
He's my best friend. My best friend, he's going away. What? That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest here. With friends like this, who needs enemies?
For real. Like, even Laurel. Like Laurel is someone, like, I was so close to. I was so close to Laurel. And now, fucking today, she uploaded her own video about me. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have any other questions?
No, not really. It's just, after this is all over...
Synnibear, you must escape. Maybe after this conversation, we can all agree that they're redeemed. They've gone through the punishment of 1 hour conversation with just a robot. And, you know, they have this interesting thing that they've been talking about is basically putting something in your brain, like a chip in your brain that makes you experience prison time all at once. In a real-life hour, you can experience 40 years of mental prison time. And maybe that's what this is for her. Maybe she's redeemed. I don't know.
After this is all over, like, once you and Jack...
Hey, do you want to maybe hang out one day?
Everything sorted out, I recommend you take a break and rest.
Wow, what a great recommendation.
I plan on that too. Like, once this is all dealt with.
What a great recommendation, buddy.
It really fucking sucked when Jack first left, because I was like, well, I'm public enemy #1 now, so, like, I can't make videos, I can't draw, I have no friends, so, like, what do I even do with my time?
Coma.
Like, no, I just ended up playing video games for, like, a week straight.
Oh my god.
What the fuck else am I gonna do? Like literally,
Boom. He's trying to open up that sexual conversation.
Like, all of my, like, friends are just gone, and...
Maybe we can coom together.
Like, I can't draw when I'm super depressed. What reason do I have to even draw if I'm not, like, able to show it to anyone? Like that's just how my brain works now. I can't draw just for me anymore.
The problem
once he found out that I was making a video, like, he doesn't even know what I plan on saying in the video, but he's already, like, trying to paint a narrative where, like, I plan on being super ableist and, like, calling him unreliable because he's mentally ill. And everyone fucking believes him, but, like, he has no proof of me even, like, insinuating I was going to do that. He has nothing. And everyone believes him.
Well, that's what the RCC does. They control the narrative. They say you're going to be sexist, racist, ableist, transphobic before your video even comes out. They always do this shit.
I'm so upset that, like fucking Kuma was the only person, like, questioning everything. Like he was the first one to contact me. He's the one who's, like, questioning everyone whenever they talk about this shit. And no one likes him. God damn it.
Well, to be fair, that's what happens when you're not going around when you don't follow the crowd blindly. They excommunicate you. That's what happened to me when I went against the grain. I had to be, like, everybody knew the edgy shit I've said in my videos for years, but as soon as I had a different opinion on the Toby drama, suddenly I'm racist. It's weird.
Part of me feels like, what did this guy say in this Toby drama? It's a little curious.
No one called me out for that until after I went against the grain.
Strange. And also, I don't fully understand what the Toby drama even was.
No one does!
Probably something to do with racism. I get just a gathering.
No one does! It's
like,
so
even after
confusing.
trying to watch videos about the drama, I was like, wait, is Toby the bad person, or are they calling out a bad person? Like, what the fuck? What am I watching?
Toby did bad. It was exaggerated. And then everybody got distracted because the Peaches and Creepshow Art stuff happened.
RXD, but...
exactly.
I had a dream when this whole thing... Like, when the day Jack left, I think, I had a dream where, like, someone hacked my Twitter and just kept saying the N-word over and over.
I've had that one. Okay, well, tomorrow I'm going to get to work on the video about you, but I'm going to have to change the thumbnail. I'm going to have to pick what... Yep, I'm going to have to pick what parts work and what don't work. At least I don't have to change the credits. But yeah, I'm going to be changing my video a lot, and I'm also going to have to reach out to Jack because, you know, for all I know, you're...
Uh-oh! Have fun with that, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to get the video ready because knowing Jack, they're probably going to panic and try to control the narrative, like...
Of course, and that's gonna be hilarious, but god, I feel so fucking shitty because, like, I'm in a way praying for Jack's downfall, but it's just because his downfall is, like, me coming out of this situation alive.
Yeah,
god.
like... The worst part is...
I feel evil.
I know. Trust me, I feel evil too, but, like, I'm gonna be 100% real here. I don't want to cancel anyone. If there could be an alternate timeline where
I don't want Jack to be canceled either. I just want him to fucking face consequences for this because, God, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I don't want Jack to, like, go away.
Maybe you should just not focus on Jack being the one facing consequences, even though Jack's not a particularly good person. Maybe you focus on yourself, you know?
Forever. I don't want him to, like, suffer constantly. I want to not be Cinny the groomer. Like, God.
You have to fight back. If you don't, people are going to think you're a groomer. And here's the thing, when people think you're a groomer, they think you're a pedophile. And when they think you're a pedophile and a groomer, they think you're a possible child molester. This shit does not stay online.
Well, that's what you usually groom to do, to molest a child. So yeah, no shit. It's like he's just saying such a commonsensical thing. Like, no shit. Like, what?
It will link into your real life if you do not fight back.
No. I completely get that. You want to know what happened today? I got called into the back of my workplace, the store I work at, and they told me that people are reporting me because of the YouTube videos coming out, because some of my coworkers know about my YouTube channel. They were, like, following up on that and also, like, telling me, hey, so, like, we keep getting reports about some internet stuff going on. Are there any police reports about this? And I was like, no, because there isn't. There's no police investigation or anything. Because these guys are morons, and this would get laughed at if the police were involved. Fucking... So luckily, I have my job still. How's that for, like, internet bullshit? I could have gotten fired.
This is why I don't tell people my YouTube channel at my work. But here's the thing, I'm gonna go now, but here's one thing I want you to tell you. It's gonna be a hard uphill battle, but you know what? It was the same way for Hopeless Peaches. And since Hopeless Peaches made it out, I'm gonna help you out. And I'm gonna help you out through this, okay? But I'm gonna ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please do not backstab me.
I don't plan on it. I'm not an asshole.
Okay, it's just, I have to ask that because it happens a lot.
It's not really an ask. It's just really a request, but okay.
I don't know why this keeps happening. Hey, I'm going to help you through your drama. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jar. Oh, you're welcome, Peaches. Anyways, I'm going to go tell a bunch of people you're racist behind your back. Oh, it sounds great, Peaches. Oh, hey, Junkie, I'm going to help you out with the Lulu Bell stuff. Oh, thanks, Jar. Anyways, I'm going to backstab you in the Toby drama and also call you racist. Like, if you do backstab me, please call me sexist. I'm tired of the racist stuff. Like, I want to be sexist now, okay? Call me homophobic. You know what? Like, I could do that too. Like, here's the thing. I'm way more sexist than I'm racist.
Okay.
At least you're admitting to it.
What do you know? You're a woman.
Yeah, I feel like I need to, just to be clear, I know what I did was bad, and I know it was fucking stupid. Like, one of the easiest things to not do. I'm not a pedophile. Like, goddammit.
You're irresponsible. That's for sure. Alright. I'm gonna get ready for bed now.
You go bed. Shoot, get out.
Hey, you have a good night, and, you know, keep up the fight, and I'm sure it will end well for you. I've seen people get out of it. Oh, one more thing. 3 to 4 years down the line, don't get a little bit of backlash and suddenly delete your channel like Spocker and Peaches did. Like, don't do that. Huh?
I like my YouTube channel. I don't plan on it.
Yeah, well, Peaches and Spocker seem to really like theirs, and I sure can't find them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. Here's the thing. Junkie didn't get canceled for what he did. Neither did Spocker nor did Peaches. They got canceled because they were cowards. Running away is the ultimate admission of guilt. Don't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Good night, Cinny.
Good news.
Enough. Fuck this.
If there's one
All right, is it over?
thing I want you to take away from this video is that this is a cautionary tale of what not to do on the internet. Anyways, I gotta get back to work on my life.
Yeah, don't defend a weirdo.
Video now. So to everybody watching this video, I just want to wish you a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good night.
Wow, that was horrible. I can't believe we sat through all that. That was fucking terrible. So, yeah, great stuff, man.